And now, our feature presentation.
Daytona! Daytona! Let's go away! Daytona! Daytona! Let's go away! Daytona! This is a good routine because it's really tough. But it's time before they go. Good luck! Daytona! Let's go away! Daytona! Daytona! Let's go away! Daytona! And they run away! Yes, they run away! Anytime before they get out! Daytona! Daytona! You found a while behind to the make a awful there. You all over the track, let's see some control. Down the crash coming down on the tree. Better hurt yourself. Hey, alright, somebody coming up behind you. You're running up the tires, baby. Daytona, let's go away. Daytona, Daytona, let's go away. Daytona. This is your good routine because it's really tough. By the time before they go, good luck, Daytona. Nice recovery, only 7 laps to go. Hanging down, baby, looking down behind you. Better keep out of your time. You're way to find a stretch, way to maneuver the car. Wow, you're looking gold. You're running up the tires, baby. Coming down, coming down, coming down to the finish line. Daytona, let's go away. Daytona, Daytona, let's go away. Daytona. This is no good routine. The course is really tough. But it's time before they go. Good luck.
Good morning / good afternoon, and welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse. My name is Scarfy.
I'm Naka. Please back up off the mic. Krüz.
Good morning, Vietnam! I actually am in Hungary, but also, hi, my name is Krüz.
To steal something from Southpaw Racer, good morning / afternoon / evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse. Scarfy is our main host. I am your technical director, Naka Inu, otherwise known as Naka, and we have Lord Hungary over there, Krüz.
I'm your European correspondent.
Yes, we are. For those of you who don't know what Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse is, we are a determinedly drunk, geeky, and cheerful podcast where wolves we house and extremely entertain, bringing you all latest entertainment news. Sets a lot like a music appreciation class. We talk about what's going on in certain topics and see how people react to them in certain ways. And that song that you were listening to was
that was from Daytona Championship USA, or otherwise known as Daytona USA 3. That is the title track "Let's Go Away," played on Daytona International Speedway in the game.
on the PS1, I assume.
No, this is like in the arcades, like
Oh, really?
2017.
Wow, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I played. I know I played one of those Daytona arcade games, but I don't know if it was the same one.
Because there's Daytona USA, which came out like in the early 90s, early to mid 90s, and then
USA.
mid to later 90s, Daytona USA 2 came out, and then there were console ports, and then eventually they got brought back to the PS3 and Xbox 360, in which the Xbox 360 port is backwards compatible with the Xbox One. So if you've got an Xbox One, you want to play Daytona USA without dropping a whole bunch of quarters or trying to find a machine, just drop $10 on your Xbox One. There you go.
Yeah. I do have to say this is definitely a rare sight for us. We're up in the morning. Well, technically, me and Naka are up in the morning / afternoon / whatever you want to call it. But apparently, Krüz, you are in Hungary studying abroad, aren't you?
Yes, I am in
what time is it right now?
It is 8:36 p.m.
Wow. That's actually kind of cool. So I'm actually kind of surprised. So I'm just going to say this right now. Our schedule was literally all over the place. We were trying to figure out, okay, what do we do? And finally we just said, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to wing it every single weekend to see what we're going to do and to see whether or not we're going to have a show, as opposed to having a set show every single weekend on a specific day.
Yeah, next week we will not have a show because of the Super Bowl, and in a month we will not have a show because of the Oscars.
Yes.
So are they both? The next ones are both doubles, or like
yes. Just this one is a double, and then the next show we're not going to have a show, and then we're supposed to just have a regular show, and then the next one after that we're supposed to have a double. But that's another story for another time. Guys, it is good to be back. How was your? I wanted to ask you, how was your winter breaks?
I was not having a good time in the brain.
Oh, really? Why was that?
It's I'd rather not get into it.
Okay.
But I got a change in my medication. Like, we've increased the dosage in one, and then we've added another to help try and balance things. And it has been working, but it's just it's hard to go through those.
I remember like just trying out new medications. Although this was in like fourth grade or whatever, but. It was just like I tried the first one and I just had a really shitty day, and I was just like, "Mom, I won't take those anymore. It's not good for me." Yeah. So yeah, sometimes that will happen.
Well, I think it's best. I think it's about time that we should just get right into the groove of things. S.E.T has been brought to you by Streamlabs. We are a non-profit podcast, but we use this as our go-to for making more episodes and help them be bigger and better than ever before by purchasing equipment or other visual means. Please don't feel obligated. We are not asking for money to pay the rent, but if you have the heart, it is greatly appreciated. You'd be surprised how far we tend to go with these donations and how bigger and better it actually does become because of you guys. And I'm just going to say thank you.
It has allowed us to get a computer in Scarfy's case, but it's allowed us to get an Elgato HD60S. It's allowed me to get a Blue Yeti.
Yeah, it really helps. It really does. It's done a lot.
Also, Ralph, what ring finger on what hand? That is the question. Because if it's on your left hand, then you're pretty much fucked.
What exactly are you asking?
Ralph's newsful, terrible. He broke his ring finger, or they broke their ring finger. Excuse me. I don't want to deal with that situation.
No, okay.
They broke their ring finger ice skating.
I met him. I know him.
Well,
we met at Anthrocon, I think.
Call me politically correct, but I'd rather not just have the hassle of accidentally saying the wrong pronouns and then have that go into a spiral. But
where's the thing? If so you're gonna have an existential crisis?
Well, I
get
don't
that.
want to I don't want us to just get sued by literally everybody on the planet because we called somebody the
What are
wrong
you getting
pronouns.
sued for?
Yeah,
don't-
I mean,
Defamation.
2019. Have you seen what the world has become?
No, I've seen.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of weird lawsuits, the New Orleans Saints, I think they're suing, or the state of Louisiana is suing the NFL because of. To be fair to New Orleans, that no call against the Rams was would have been defensive pass interference against the Rams. That no call was abysmal.
And then there was ref ball in the AFC Championship game, but I'm not going to get into that.
My dad says refs don't decide games. It's like, really? They do everything except that.
yeah. But
Did you not watch the Super Bowl 40s? It was 2006 Super Bowl, Steelers versus the Seahawks, and the Seahawks got absolutely destroyed by the refs in that game.
it was a happy day for me.
Yeah, it was a happy day for you, you son of a bitch.
Remember when
it only took them a decade. It only took the officials who managed that game a decade to say, "Yeah, we fucked up." It only took them a decade.
And then you always had to remember Bottlegate.
Anyway,
so talk about
the refs
football.
the refs just ended the game because there was so much shit being thrown into the field.
So enough about football. I do want to talk about something that happened to me over the break.
I still need to check this out because I haven't had time to. But
guys, I actually got to do a recording with the Anthroholics. For those of you who missed it, while we were gone, I did a crossover episode with the Anthroholics with Adrian the Badger and JT the Wolf reviewing Beauty and the Beast, more so the live action one, and criticizing how despicable the live action movie really is. Adrian and JT are. Wait, what?
Aside from Emma Watson trying to sing or not singing, really, I don't know.
Adrian and JT are known for reviewing a lot of movies that include anthropomorphic characters such as The Secret of Nim, Robin Hood, BoJack Horseman, and more. Feel free to check them out. They're really nice people. I was really lucky. I was really happy that I was able to guest star as a show on one of their episodes. So I'm very, very happy to hear about that.
Be the show.
I do want to remind you that my quality on my mic is not really all that great, but because I'm coming straight off of a computer speaker and it's being recorded in one of those podcast tape recorder things. So
one of those little things.
If I don't sound picture perfect quality as I do right now, that's the reason. But yeah. But anyway, that's it for stuff ahead. So why don't we get to Krüz with music? Krüz.
Also, keep in mind, what did you say quiet hours began in your apartment dormitory place thing, Krüz?
10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I don't think it should be a huge issue. That's usually the only situation where people were actually kicked out of the apartments was one because they rented out a room and they weren't allowed to, and the other one was, I forget what the other one was. I don't know. It was something else that was egregiously stupid, but it shouldn't be a problem as long as I don't, laugh my ass off exceedingly. It'll be good. But what also is good is Overkill. And that band is also coming to Budapest in March, and I got a ticket. Hopefully I should be able to make the show. It's only a half hour by Metro. So yeah, it'll be after their new album comes out, the name of which is The Wings of War. And much like the opening to the previous album, which that song was Mean Green Killing Machine, which is also referenced in Head of a Pin, which is the other song that was released off of this album. We're singing Mean Green all the way to hell. So yeah, that was the opening track for 2017's The Grinding Wheel, and my number one album of that year, just because it was so good throughout. And it was really a tough choice. I almost considered retconning it, but I'll stick with my choice because you also had DragonForce and Trivium in the top three. And Trivium also, by the way, has been nominated for, I think, at least one Grammy. I think they were nominated for a Grammy for Betrayer, at least, which is a pretty good song. Not my favorite on the album, but it's still a damn good one.
Yeah.
So best of luck to Trivium and Matt. And Matt, who also, I don't know if I said this before, Matt recently became a dad. He had twins.
Oh, nice.
He and his wife had twins, which congratulations for that.
He's now a dear old dad.
And he's also, I guess you can now call Trivium dad metal. I don't know if you want to do that.
So,
well, would
I was
would
listening.
you also call Slipknot dad metal because of Corey Taylor and his son?
Oh yeah, well Corey Taylor's son is pretty cool because when he there was for his other band. Why did I forget the name? Yeah, Stone Sour. They let Corey Taylor brought his son up to sing with him, which was really cool. Also, what was really cool was Ty Trujillo, the son of Metallica bassist Rob Trujillo, did fill in for Fieldy on Korn's South America tour, and then Rob joined his son on stage to play, which was really cool. But yeah, I was going to say that the beginning of this song that's linked here was kind of similar to the kind of like pounding intro of Mean Green Killing Machine.
Honestly, it kind of reminded me of it kind of reminded me of All Nightmare Long by Metallica. Just how it starts off slow and then it like picks up and then it goes really, really fast just out of nowhere. And I love stuff like that. It's like, wow.
Oh, so you mean Pokey Means Business from Earthbound, Mother 2? I'm saying that as a reference.
Don't get him started on that. Don't get him started on that.
Yeah, I know, but
don't get him started on that.
I love that movie. I love that song. That sounds amazing. Wait, I forgot. Did Earthbound come before Metallica? I'm pretty sure it was Metallica first, but
Metallica was way before Earthbound.
As the band, or are you talking about a specific song?
That specific song.
That was 2000. That was 2008.
Okay. Oh well, Earthbound came before that.
Metallica itself started in like 1981, which I think Overkill started just a year before that. And also, we should mention the release date, which is February 22nd. And it coming courtesy of the Garden State. I say that because one of the songs in the album is called Welcome to the Garden State, the nickname of New Jersey from which this band is. One of the two major bands from the East Coast playing around is actually sort of sounding like, it's hard to say Anthrax doesn't sound good. Anthrax is from New York.
Anyway, I saw the lyric video for this video. It was actually kind of, I saw the lyrics for this video. It almost seems like they were interested in the Monster Energy drink, but that's just what I got from it. That's all I
had
to
say. Tune to H flat.
Yeah, that's all. That's really all. There's no such thing as H flat.
That's the joke.
That's the joke. The H chord. You know what the H chord is? You hold up two fingers and lay one finger across it.
Anyway, that's all I have to say regarding Overkill. Naka?
Well, first things first, I want to bring up visuals real quick. Krüz, thank you for spending time making these visuals on somewhat of a short notice. Yeah. But
this whole entire agenda was on short notice.
But as you guys probably could tell, we have a new starting soon graphic because the old one, it got old, and B, the colors were just not good. So I took executive decision to make a change to have something a lot better.
Delicious.
It works. It really does.
It works a lot better. And we've cut out the bull crap of the Tumblr page because Tumblr is kind of dead nowadays. Let's be honest.
Well, Tumblr is also kind of killing itself slowly.
Yeah, Tumblr is dead.
Not quite like YouTube. YouTube is making it as miserable and drawn out as possible. Except it's like, we support Article 13. It's like,
Excuse me, what?
That is an absurd level of corporate bullshit if I've ever seen it.
Well, we're not.
It's kind of like they don't have a choice, so it's kind of like Article 13 is going to affect them. Yeah, I think
it's going to affect the world.
Yeah, for Europe, like we'll have to see what happens because I mean, if not, that's just going to throw a wrench into the whole already fucked system of copyright strikes and all that. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing about PewDiePie doing the thing with there was something Alinity who got exposed for taking money to copy strike people and getting paid to do it, which is like, and you think, well, PewDiePie's a bad guy, he said bad words. I'm like, fuck off. But here's the thing, that's just going to throw a wrench in that whole thing. It's going to make it so much worse for everyone else. It's already so much favored to the accusing side that the appealing side can really do nothing except hope that the accusing side relents at some point, which really is not likely.
Do you mind if we move on?
can do that.
We are like, this is a war, and we are just riding on the wings of war.
Yeah.
That's really all we can do as creators, because we don't have high enough powers to be an influence onto YouTube and say, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
By the way, YouTube, please don't don't give us community guideline strikes. Please no.
I mean, we got one. The one we got is before like Naka's time was the one we just had it was because they cited the title "London Has Fallen" and like we literally included the source right next to it, right next to the thing they highlighted, and they were like, "Oh, you didn't cite it." I'm like, "It's right there." But there's nothing really you can do. Even one of my favorite channels, Dead Meat, he had to go through a point where he isn't having those videos anymore, but he said like he has had this whole little explanation about fair use and all that before the video.
Anyway, continue.
Oink. Continue. We have an all metal agenda, which makes me happy. Next is one that's a little hotter. Is In Flames. The Mask. So this band now. I saw them with
Sorry.
Extra
Something
Life
just started playing on my phone, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Extra Life already happened.
Continue, Krüz.
I thought I had locked my phone screen. Continue.
So In Flames has unfortunately kind of become a band where you really have to cherry pick out of the songs that are actually good.
Mm-hmm.
But as the band's kind of fan saying goes, In Flames we trust. Oh my God. Despite it's kind of like it's both cringe and also disappointment. It's just kind of like, but no, why? This is our house. That's like, who the fuck do you think you are? 3 Days Grace? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, they're better. I mean, I think 3 Days Grace is personally better than Linkin Park. But...
I hate everything about you.
Yeah, I mean, some people. It depends on like what you're talking about with Linkin Park. Usually, everyone's just like all like Hybrid Theory or whatever, not this new stuff, which is just like I'm like. Granted, In Flames hasn't really done. They haven't gone that far. It's just that This Is Our House just starts with there was some issue with a Behemoth using the whole children's choir, but it still actually works because the song is good anyways. Though my favorite song from that album just got a music video, Ecclesia Catholica something, but it's a pretty good song. But the song I linked I think was I Am Above, which features an actor from Mr. Robot, because he says, or I think that's the show, because he's a Swedish actor, which is pretty cool. The other one is the title track, I, The Mask, which is also really good. It's one of the more aggressive ones. The masks, they do nothing. If you watch This Is a Good Idea to Microwave This, you'll get that reference. I was
about to reference that. Thank you.
Yes. The masks, they do nothing.
I'm not the only person that has watched all 300 plus episodes of that series.
I missed the shit out of that show.
Of what?
Is it a good idea to microwave this?
I love that show. I think my favorite episode was the airbag one.
Well, that's the cop-out episode.
Yeah. It's just because
I really like the spray paint episode 133, but we're getting off topic.
Because it just catches fire, and they're just like, should we turn it off?
Should we turn it off? Hope you didn't like that trash barrel, Dad. That was my favorite one. Oh,
that's my favorite one.
Yeah, there was no holes in the bottom.
Melting. It's just. But yeah, this album comes out a little bit later on March 1st.
You say you have to cherry pick the good songs. I mean, it's all in your kind of style and taste and what you do and don't like. So I kind of get what you're saying, but I like what In Flames is doing.
The thing is that some of the songs are like, it's like This Is Our House is kind of like radically different from the other ones, because In Flames really used to be a melodic death metal band, but they've moved to melodic metalcore now, which people by and large accepted. But when you have something like just the way you just look at This Is Our House and you're just kind of like, or like at least I am. I'm just like, oh no, don't do that. No, what is you doing?
Anyway,
Um,
regarding this album, I thought it was okay. It's not something that I'm interested in, but it looked interesting enough. That's all I have to say regarding it.
I enjoyed the light bulbs. Okay.
Naka?
I don't know where that came
I already
from.
said my piece.
So
You're a
Naka?
Mormon. I mean,
All right.
moron.
Go
That's a
ahead.
bad joke.
Mormon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was a bit rude.
Sorry if you're a Mormon. Anyone in the audience, we don't. I don't care.
I'm just trying
Hey, in
to
fact,
have fun.
in
I'm
fact, I
sorry.
think,
That was a bit rude.
In fact,
Let's
I think
continue.
Book of Mormon was a pretty freaking hilarious show. Also, yes, we have next something called the acronym of which is COB.
Bodom.
Yeah, COB. Do I really have to say it? Corn. Don't let the major key sounding riff fool you, and know the drummer of this band is not Tom Araya. It just looks like it. This song is actually dark. I'd only listened to a Sixpounder before this, which is one of their other songs that's a little, heavier, I guess. But also checked out more other songs, and yeah, they're pretty good. You like some synth infused melodeath? Cobb is a good band to listen to, and Hexed will be dropping on March 8th. And I've been listening to this song like riding the subway here in Budapest. It's pretty good. It's like, well, the song itself is about like, it seems to be about like a darker version of what that song "Son of a Bitch." It's like, yeah, there's hope in death, because after something like, assuming the person is drinking themselves to death, but there's hope in that death or something, that the suffering will come to an end, kind of thing. So yeah, it's a little more dark than the notes would sound, but it's a good song. I like it. Oh yeah, they're microwave light bulbs.
And well, the thing is, Bodom's actually pretty awesome. I really do like Bodom's music style, and how it's heavy, and this is actually when you have to tune it to H flat because of the dark sounding notes. Again, music joke. More music jokes. But Bodom's an awesome band. I like Bodom, and I'm glad to see more music coming from him.
What?
Scarfy,
Yeah.
have you not been paying attention?
Yes, I have been paying attention.
Have you not said your piece?
I'm going to say my piece right now. So for this song, I thought it was really good. It's a really good one. I really enjoyed it. There's not much I have to say, but for the next one, I have a lot to say. So,
Oh, that. Well, I'm glad you do, because this is a band I've also been getting into, and they come all the way from the Faroe Islands, off of coast of Scotland and under the Danish crown. It is Tyr, named after the Norse god of basically like bravery, justice, something like a bunch of those things, fighting. I guess he's kind of like he's kind of like Ares but more of like an Athena type Ares. I don't know, more like Athena, I guess, then, because he's not like a jackass, or at least not in the portrayal of the Rick Riordan's books, which I'm still reading those. Yeah, I'm still reading those.
I'm just gonna say this right now. I love the album cover a lot.
Yeah,
That's a great album cover. That's poster worthy.
It's badass. Yeah, I'd get a fucking poster of this. For some reason, my laptop and phone won't let me do the accent on the Y, because there's an accent on the Y to make it sound like Tyr.
Tyrion Lannister.
But that doesn't matter.
Game of Thrones, it's been away for I don't know how fucking long, but like I saw Tyrion, I was like, Tyrion Lannister, when is Game of Thrones coming out?
Tyrion.
Just so people can shut the fuck up about it. Because I don't give a good goddamn about Game of Thrones. I'm sorry. I know it's supposed to be like a renowned TV and book series, but it's just taken way too fucking long, and like
it's ending this season, dude.
Like I understand the hype behind it, I just cannot get into it.
I enjoyed.
Maybe wait until all the seasons are done, and then we can get you into it. That'll be better.
The thing is, like, I enjoyed what I saw, but I was like not moved to like invest in the whole thing.
Anyway,
what I do need to watch.
Back to the topic.
What I do need to watch is The Punisher. I've really only listened to one of their other albums, Valkyria, which of course is Old Norse for Valkyrie from 2013. But I can say that this band is fucking awesome because I listened to like one or two other songs. So the song is Fire and Flame. It's not to be confused with Through the Fire and Flames. This is about wielding fire and flame. This was released over break, and well, fucking good. The album's name is simply Hell, named after the Norse goddess of the dishonorable dead. And this album, I meant to say this album arrives also on March 8th. And you'll see the big bloody-jawed Fenris wolf in the background.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I'm actually, my parents are, they decided to get Ancestry for, like, do a DNA test and everything. And from what I believe is that both on my mom and my dad's side that I have a lot of Norse, background. And I've believed that for years and years. And we'll see when the DNA results come in. But, my grandma, when it comes to, like, Norse mythology and, like, Norse metal, it's the kind of stuff that I really enjoy listening to because... you got Powerwolf and, Powerwolf, Wolf, but, Christianity is not my thing. But when you get into Norse metal, and, even some stuff that Brendan Small did with Deathclock with the Lost Vikings, with the gods that weep in the night, and because they search until they die. But the Lost Vikings is a great Deathclock song. It's off the first Death album, but I'm kind of getting off topic. But Norse metal has always just kind of been like my pedestal for when it comes to symbolic metal, if that makes sense.
Symbolic.
Symbolic metal, as in, like, people like Powerwolf because, it's symbolic with Christianity. But, with Tyr and, a bunch of other bands, it's symbolic with Norse mythology. And that's what I prefer, rather than, Greek, Roman mythology, Egyptian. That's not kind of my thing, if that makes sense.
There's not as many songs about that either. I mean, you had Metallica with Atlas Rise, and then you also had, I don't know. There's also Saxon with Thunderbolt, that song is about the Greek gods, specifically Zeus, mainly. But, yeah. I'm looking forward to the rest of this album because, man, this was just real fucking good.
So as for my piece, I thought it was kind of cool that Fire and Flame was in the title, even though it's not referencing that. But who knows? Maybe it is.
We're saying, like, you're wielding the chorus, like, wielding fire and flame, sowing your pain, scorching giant. And it's basically, I guess, kind of like a similar, like, verbal message to Amon Amarth's Death and Fire. Like, die for honor, die for glory, death.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like death come give me fame is a lyric in this song.
That's all I have to say about Tyr, though.
We have one more,
and we have Super Mario 64. Wait.
Right. Keep going.
We have In Temptation. Resist. All right.
It just has 64 in there. I don't know what.
Okay. This is another band that's been in my periphery. Not one I've listened to a whole lot, but I have listened to.
Wait, hold on. I messed up something. Hold on.
Let me fucking you.
I did a thing. I was able to undo the document. So there we go. Within Temptation, Resist. There we go. I got it right. I'm sorry. It's not even been an entire hour into our show, and I've already fucked something up. This is gonna go great for this season, everybody. But let's continue.
Yes, continue.
You've anused it. So yeah, the Resist, which is coming out February 1st, found the Dutch symphonic metal band Within Temptation. Includes a vocalist from a band we mentioned before, Anders Frieden from In Flames, for the linked song Raise Your Banner, as well as Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach for The Reckoning. I don't know. I mean, I might check some more of this out because quite a few of the songs are already out. I think there's like 4 songs up from the album. They sound pretty good. I'll say that.
Symphonic metal is always it's always a plus because, you know, there's death metal where it's just like, but with symphonic metal you get that, but then you also have the great instrumentals that can come out of metal.
Yeah, I part of me wishes that you would finish Xenoblade Chronicles because it has a lot of that in there, a lot of symphonic metal.
Yeah. So does the soundtrack of Ruby. It's kind of similar to that, at least similar song structures.
Hell, I'm waiting for somebody to make a metal cover of the Smash Ultimate opening.
Do 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 do.
Yes, but with the lyrics and stuff too.
Oh,
But,
But,
again, symphonic metal, it's got a soft spot for me because, like, I can go to this, like, if there's a concert out there that I want to go see, like, Apocalyptica, almost, because it's cello metal, and, you know, that's part of a symphony is, like, the cello and the strings and everything. That's why I like Apocalyptica so much, is because they have the sound of, like, metal guitars and bass and everything out of cellos.
you should try Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Well,
but
there's
only
also
during,
TSO, but, you know, I'm
only
going
during
with something
Christmas.
that isn't Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Right.
Also, I don't know if you've heard this song, but Apocalyptica is in one Amon Amarth song called "Live for the Kill."
Oh, really?
And it's a pretty good song. It's one of the ones. I don't know if any of the others were in standard tuning, but that one is because, of course, I don't think the cellos can go that low by virtue of like, you know, the strings don't work the same way. But it sounds really good. What else? I think that's pretty much
That is it for music this week.
Yeah, it is.
scene.
So
Something that-
before you get into our video game news, and I am talking about video games because this does kind of relate. I beat Breath of the Wild finally. I beat it like a week ago. I got all the 120 signs. I did all the divine beast. No, it's da 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 or something like that. But
I know.
and yeah, if you guys haven't played it, you really need to play it. It's really good. Do you have Breath of the Wild yet, Naka?
No, because I have other
Oh.
games I need to play first.
Like Smash Ultimate?
Smash Ultimate, I've barely kind of scratched the surface of it. I feel
Okay.
like because World of Light just seems fucking ginormous.
Yeah, you kind of have to take your time with World of Light. Like, you can't really... I mean, you can speed through it, but at the same time, you can't. But, you know. But yeah, that's really all I have to say regarding video games on my end. Now, Naka, why don't you go ahead and go with your usual news?
With my usual news, well, the first things first, what I've been playing since the off break. Let's see, I picked up Call of Duty World War II. I've dabbled in the story a little bit. I do like the zombies mode, which is interesting because I'm more of a Treyarch zombies
The
person.
story I really liked, and also the soundtrack is pretty good.
That and the fact that it's World War II weaponry, which is,
then-
you know, some of the more iconic weaponry, instead of
M1
Black Ops 3.
Garand too. The
Yeah.
M1 Garand is one of my favorites.
The thing I don't like with Black Ops 3 Zombies is that on the World at War maps, like, that were remade, they updated to all the new weapons, which really sucks, but I digress. But I've been getting a lot more into Black Ops 3 Zombies recently, and just this whole Treyarch Zombies Chronicle timeline thing. I picked
Right.
up the Grand Tour game, which is a tie-in for Season 3 of the Grand Tour, which premiered last Friday, and it's, you know, it's a cheap game. It's $15, but it's fun. I'm having fun with it, and, you know, it's basically, you watch the episode and then you go play the episode. Quite literally, you play out the episode. But I'm getting a little bit out of hand. One thing I do want to share that wasn't in our initial agenda was I forgot to tell my friends tell these guys, I consider you guys my friends, don't worry, but like one of my other friends, Mr. Arrow HD, completed 801 laps around the Daytona sports car circuit in iRacing for the iRacing Daytona 24 hours.
Right.
Raised about $1,800 for his local children's hospital, and, you know, he was partnered with somebody else, and together they raised over $2,000 for it was basically an Extra Life stream. But when you go, like, he did this solo, so no driver changes, nothing like that, nothing of the sort. It's nothing like, actual endurance racing, because, you can have climate control and everything. You don't get that in a real race car, but
This is incredible.
it's still incredible that somebody had managed to go
To basically,
801 laps solo with only taking minimal breaks.
Because the thing about it, you don't really have AC in that car. The engine heat.
No, you're in full fire suit and helmet.
That too, yes.
Something with iRacing, you can be as realistic as possible, or you could just like wear PJ pants and a t-shirt and hat. But it's still super impressive that he was able to make it 801 laps and become the first person to not only break 800 laps solo, but to hold the solo stint world record.
Right.
And kind of like that I had to bring up today. My OFP of choosing today was Let's Go Away from Daytona USA 3, because it's the 24-hour Daytonas this weekend, and it started, like, the green flag dropped about a minute after we ended the song. Right. So, yeah, that's going on in the background right now, but I've got a show to pay attention to.
Yes, you do.
And my dad just got home.
With this next piece of news, this kind of came out, like, really abruptly for us, didn't it?
Very abruptly, like within just the past few days.
Actually, it came out yesterday, I think.
If it was yesterday, then it's still within the past few days. But Metroid Prime 4. You've got a development update. Oh, there's no visual for this. You didn't make a visual for this because it was so last minute.
It kind of was.
It was so last minute. I'm not faulting you.
But continue.
Metroid Prime 4 has been hyped up for a long while. It was teased at an E3, 2017, 2016?
2016, I believe.
And
no, I think it was 2017, you're right.
But they've never been in a position to give a development update.
No trailer, no teaser, nothing. Yeah.
And it's very unfortunate, but Metroid Prime 4 is not in a position that meets Nintendo's standards for a Metroid Prime sequel. Nintendo's not a company like Activision or EA where they will release broken games and then have you pay for bug fixes.
No, that's bullshit.
EA's actually getting better about that. I will say they're getting better about that, and how Battlefield 1
has been a target of that of late. Mm-hmm. I will say
Battlefield 5 launch might have been botched, but at least the DLC is free.
I will say this about 76. Everyone's like bitching about Fallout 76.
Oh, and 76, by the way.
I've had fun with it. I've had fun in the game, but it does suffer from a little bit more of the jankiness that you got with Fallout 4, which that still was a decent game in my mind, because the DLCs the DLCs that I played were extensive and pretty fun. But I don't have my Xbox with me, so I'm not going to be playing it for a while. And also, I really was disappointed is I wouldn't be able to play Red Dead when I'm here. I'm like, fuck.
So why is this Rocket League? So why is this what's going on with this update, Naka?
Well, Nintendo wants to make sure that their games are in tip-top shape for release, even though, there's some Nintendo games that aren't very good. Mario Party 9, Mario Party 10, Mario Party Island Tour, Mario Party Star Rush, Mario Party The Top 100.
I'm sensing a pattern.
Super Mario Party.
Mario Party is actually not that bad, even though it does have flaws, but it's actually a lot better than Mario Party 9, 10, Island Tour, Star Rush, and
I went over to my friend's house and played it, and we had a really, really fun time, because it came down to the last roll. It was basically with me and my friend's brother against another friend and my friend, who was the brother of the other friend I was with. Okay, well, basically we had to roll an odd number, otherwise we couldn't get the star and we would lose. And my friend's brother rolled a 6, and we just erupted in laughter. It was great. He's like, when you needed him most, he vanished.
So anyway, continue.
But, Metroid Prime 4 is not meeting up to Nintendo's standards at the moment. They're going to re-examine development structure for the game and change it. Producer Kensuke Tanabe will now work in trust and collaboration with Retro Studios, which is based here in North America, who developed the original Metroid Prime series, and basically restart development from the ground up. Through this collaboration, they hope that
So were they not working with them before?
No, they were not.
Oh, so I guess that's a good move then.
And what they're saying is that they hope that this will make the game live up to fans' expectations. However, this does mean that the game will be delayed, and there is no foreseeable launch date for the time being. And that kind of puts a sour taste in fans' mouths, because I don't want this game to be stuck in development hell like Half-Life 2 Episode 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Team Fortress 3, Dota 3, Portal 3, Duke Nukem Forever, Final Fantasy 15, and a game that I will talk about later.
All right.
Or a game that managed to escape that, which was Cuphead.
Yeah. Hopefully this is a step in the right direction. The game will be made to the highest of standards. It really sucks, but unfortunately this is the way things have to go in the gaming industry. I would know firsthand.
Yeah. I just want to tell you, like, my theory is this. They want to avoid making a remake of Metroid Other M, which technically was not for Metroid fans at least, it wasn't the game that everyone thought it would be. Like, they really, there was a lot of hype for this game, and a lot of people were kind of disappointed by it. I mean, like, I played Metroid Prime 3 for the Nintendo Wii, and I thoroughly really enjoyed it. I have the Metroid Prime trilogy on my Wii U, and for whatever reason haven't finished yet, so I have to finish all of that. But honestly, I'm gonna say this right now, I'm kind of glad it's being canceled, start from scratch and working back up to the ground up, because, like, here's the thing, I really don't think it would be a good idea to not give it to Retro Studios, because Retro Studios knows what to do. I think it was originally going to be done by Namco Bandai. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too sure.
Oh, Scamco.
Bandai!
Wait, what?
I kind of have... I'm not very happy with Bandai Namco right now, but like, I'll talk about that when you're done with your piece.
But honestly, I think it's a good thing that they're giving it to Retro Studios. But that's just my take. And if you look at Retro Studios' resume, honestly, guys, they made some pretty decent games. They made the Metroid Prime trilogy. They made Donkey Kong Country Returns, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Mario Kart 7. I mean, yeah, they really do know how to make games. I mean, if you think about it logically.
What?
What do you have to say about this?
Did Scarfy's audio fuck up only for me?
It was fine on my end.
Okay, it might have been. I completely missed what he just said.
Oh,
it's okay. You'll listen back to it on the VOD. It's
I heard
fine.
nothing. My view on this, I've never played any of the games outright. I've seen what gameplay is like, so I kind of get a gist of like how the game sort of supposed to work. Was the thing with Other M that they tried to make it like a 3D game? I mean, not like 3D visuals, but like 3D world. Metroid
Other M and Metroid Prime is 3D.
Yeah, and so I think that they were trying to make it a pseudo 3D, kind of like the.
They wanted. I think what happened is that they wanted. They were making a Metroid game, and they didn't want to make another. They did not want to make Metroid Other M again, if that was the case that they were going for.
Because Other M is not very good.
No, it's not.
See what happens with it.
So,
But do you want to know why I am salty with Bandai Namco right now?
Go ahead.
Tell us how you really feel.
It's not because, well, Soul Calibur 6 is great, don't get me wrong. Smash Ultimate's great. Tekken 7 is great. But for US fans of the One God Midnight Maximum Tune franchise, we're pretty much screwed. Because, well, the last release that US officially got was Maximum Tune 3. This was for several years, until within the last 18 to 24 months, we got One Gun Midnight Maximum Tune 5. However, like, it's great. It's got an English translation, albeit it's not the best translation, but whatever. I can be beside that. But we ended up with the base version of the game, whereas everywhere else that has, like, the Indonesia market, Southeast Asia, Japan markets have the DX version and the DX Plus versions, which means we get less content, we get less support, we get less content story-wise, gameplay-wise, and there's actually been updates to base content that aren't available in the base version of Maximum Tune 5.
So Japan was getting all the updates.
So Japan, Indonesia, Southeast Asia have gotten all the updates, whereas the US version has gotten nothing. They got the base game with an English translation.
That's kind of shitty.
It's kind of shitty, but
it's fairly fair amount of shittiness.
But your thoughts on Metroid Prime 4?
I still need to go about my piece with Bandai Namco because there is One Gun Midnight Maximum Tune 6 coming out. It's already out in Japan. It's coming out in Indonesia and Southeast Asia. There's no plans for a North American release, which really sucks because One Gun Midnight Maximum Tune 6 is supposed to be it's supposed to be a lot better than 5, and 5 is actually pretty good. I've put a lot of time and money into 5,
right?
Albeit it's a shitty version. But what kind of doesn't make sense is that there's you can save your data on what's called the Bana passport, and you can save your game data. And then they have a terminal where you can, access car stats and everything like that. But you have the ability to join teams. Well, if you join a team, if you have it, that's listed in the terminal, if you join a team that might not be active anymore, you can't just say, hey, I don't want to join this team anymore. You're stuck in hell, pretty much. You're stuck in purgatory. So you cannot join any other team because the one you tried to join is dead, and they're not coming back, and the team that you're trying to join is not going to come to that terminal anymore and approve your request to join the team. So I'm kind of fucked in that case, and the lack of content is also pretty annoying. But I'm playing with what I got, and I'm having a good time regardless. But honestly, with Metroid Prime 4,
great podcast from Machine Hunter.
I kind of already said my piece. I hope it doesn't get stuck in development hell, and I hope it turns out to be a fantastic game.
Just remember what Shigeru Miyamoto said: a delayed game is forever good. A rushed game is forever bad. Only in certain cases.
Forever shitty.
Yeah. Of course, there's Duke Nukem Forever, but
there's Duke Nukem Forever, and
time to kick gum and chew ass.
That's what I don't want this to be. I want it to be something like Final Fantasy 15, where there was, they had to take extra time to make sure that it was the best game possible.
It wasn't the best game possible.
It wasn't the best game possible, but it was not a Duke Nukem Forever.
Right. Anyway.
But, we have... You know that big game that I was talking about?
Yeah.
What was some of the most broken games I've ever played? Well,
after 2.8, I think they got up to.
After 13 long years.
13 years they've been developing this, and I hope it doesn't turn into Spunk Gargle Wee Wee. They spent 13 years developing a 30-foot jizz cannon. They invited everybody around for its first firing, only for it to tip over and
start. I thought Rammstein did that.
What?
Rammstein dick cannon?
No, this is a reference to Zero Punctuation. From The Escapist. This was relating to
I know I watched him, but I don't know if I remember that.
This was in relation to Duke Nukem Forever. 13 years they spent building a 30-foot jizz cannon in the backyard, and then they brought everybody over for its first firing, only for it to tip over and just have yellowy discharge go over everybody's shoes. That's what I don't want to have happen with Kingdom Hearts 3, and thankfully it's not going in that direction.
Thank God. But continue.
A game that Tetsuya Nomura had wanted to be released as soon as possible, but due to the development of Final Fantasy 15 at the time, he said it would release after 2012. At E3 2013, after Sony announced it alongside the PS4, Nomura said it was way too early due to development. As the team behind Kingdom Hearts 3 worked on 2.5 HD Remix, or HD 2.5 Remix, they said that they could take the best elements from 2.5 HD Remix into 3. Concepts for the game began in 2006, but have taken 13 years to fully develop. On January 29th, 2019, Kingdom Hearts were released for the PS4 and Xbox One outside of Japan. Set after 3D Dream Drop Distance, that's why I called it 3D, Sora, Donald, and Goofy attempt to search...
Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Thank you, Guy Fieri. Sora, Donald, and Goofy attempt to search for the 7 Guardians of Light and the key to return hearts, while King, Mickey, and Riku search for the other Keyblade wielders in an attempt to stop Master Xenohort's plan to balance the light and darkness.
Xehanort.
Xehanort? Did I say Xenohort?
It's Xehanort.
Xehanort? All right.
Xehanort.
All right. I've been playing some Half-Life recently, so like
just continue.
I'm continuing. That plan may ultimately lead to the final showdown between Sora and Xehanort. At the beginning of the game, Sora has completed his Mask of Mastery, which he was trying to finish in Dream Drop Distance. Kingdom Hearts 3 will serve as the final chapter of the Dark Seeker / Xehanort saga, because Nomura stated that this takes place immediately after Dream Drop Distance. The plot will examine the 7 lights and 13 darknesses coming together for the final battle, but that everyone that is expected to fulfill these roles may not. I don't know. I've kind of fucked up writing that.
Just continue.
So basically, somewhat of a semi-different version of Infinity War then, because Disney. We've got Worlds of Disney based off of Pirates of the Caribbean, Toy Story, Tangled, Frozen, for fuck's sake, Big Hero 6, Monsters, Inc., Hercules, Winnie the Pooh, and the original worlds featured in the first games.
Hollow Bastion, Twilight Town, and possibly Traverse Town, but I'm not too sure. But continue.
You would know a lot more than that.
As nice as it would have been to get a Zootopia world, we were unlucky, and we will not be getting one. What a shame. I did not want to write... I was not told to write that until Scarfy told me to write that. I was not even thinking of Zootopia being in the game.
If we did get a Zootopia world, which I'm not saying we are, but if we did, I'll be sure to correct that. But but for the time being, because nothing was announced, it's safe to assume that there is no Zootopia world unless they kept it deep, dark secrets. That's all I can say.
DLC.
I don't know.
I don't really have any connection to the franchise other than the fact that I've got a Riku statue near my desk. This title has been long awaited, and it will release on the 29th for the PS4 and Xbox One. Again, outside of Japan. But I'm going to let you have the floor, Scarfy, since you have a much deeper connection to the franchise. Why don't you share your thoughts and feelings about this?
Okay, so...
it'd probably be smart if I put up the visual, but...
Yeah, you should do that.
Attempt number 2, but luckily it's been minor stuff, not major stuff, because you're going to be talking about it, and I've already just talked about it. There's an actual point to have the visual up still.
Right. So I'm going to say this right now. I got into Kingdom Hearts 2 when I think it was 2006. I think I was maybe 12 or 13, and I know I jumped like a little bit ahead of the series, but I was playing it on the PS2, and for whatever reason, I was enjoying what I was playing. I couldn't put it down. And then I realized, there's other sequels that I need to get. Okay, I need to get Kingdom Hearts 1. I played it. I got Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance, and then I played that one, and it was a lot of fun. And then I really enjoyed it. And then I was like desperate, like just begging for a Kingdom Hearts 3 sequel. And the only problem that I had with Kingdom Hearts was that it was being released on different consoles. So like say you had Birth by Sleep for the PSP, and then you have basically 358 Days Over 2 on the Nintendo DS. Basically, you have to pay for 2 different systems just to play those 2 different games. And it took them, I think it was after Kingdom Hearts Re Chain of Memories, 8 years to fix this by releasing 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 HD remixes, just so that they can make this happen. Which they did, and so basically that cleared up. Unfortunately for 358 Days Over 2 Encoded, which I do not give a shit about, they only have cutscenes, which are available to add to the story. But I played them, so that's all I have to say. But guys, I've been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 for a while. I am probably going to get it on Tuesday. It comes out on Tuesday. I have a free day on Tuesday. I'm not doing any homework, so I'm probably going to be playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and that's all I'm going to be doing, because I love Kingdom Hearts 3. I enjoyed it. I love Yoko Shimomura's score. It's one of my... Kingdom Hearts 2 is by far one of my all-time favorite games of all time, period. If you had a PS4, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee you. Like, if you start playing Kingdom Hearts 1, I just want to let you know that the combat system is a bit dated since, it was made in 2001. But, people still have the opportunity to play it. So, really, the only thing I can say is that I hope you guys maybe try this, series if you ever get the chance, if you ever get a PS4, because it's really well done. I think the only biggest issue that I have is that you have Kingdom Hearts 3 being released for the Xbox One, and I don't hate. And don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against the Xbox One.
I mean,
I'm just
if I were to get it, that's where I'd get it. But
I'm just not a fan of it. But at the same time, if you're going to release Kingdom Hearts 3 for the Xbox One, then why haven't you released the other games for it? And the only reason that answer is because Square Enix is kind of Sony biased.
You already
Square.
Much. You already had the issue. I mean, it's kind of it seems like it's par for the course. You already had the issue of them like jumping from system to system with games,
right?
So I mean, it's kind of like you come to expect that, but it's also kind of like, well, you can also change that trajectory now. I don't know.
Yeah. So I love it. I love Kingdom Hearts. I hope you would guys ever give it a chance. If you can't take my word for it, I don't know what else to tell you.
I don't doubt that it's a good game. I'm like way late to the party because my sister got way more into it than I ever did.
There's no problem getting a PS4 and playing it yourself, but I understand PS4s are expensive, so I can't really.
I might as well buy it for Xbox One. It's less expensive than buying another console.
I mean, I get that. It's
to
just
get a thing for the timeline if it'll actually fucking post. I posted a link in the chat. It's the new AVGN episode being chronologically confused about the timelines.
Yeah, but really that's all I have to say regarding it. So Kingdom Hearts 3, it's a good game. I hope you guys see it. That's all I have to say.
How am I going to see a video game?
Play it.
Yo, look at it.
I hope you guys play it. That's all I have to see it. That's all I have to say.
I've got other things I need to play though.
All right.
Like Rocket League, I need to grind in that.
Anyway.
Oh, one thing. There was like a special edition PS4 that was supposed to come out with Kingdom Hearts 3, but so many people pre-ordered it that GameStop pulled pre-orders because they're just like, nope, too many people bought it. We don't have enough PS4s.
It's like, what do you mean we don't have enough? And that reminded me of the ooh, it's Pennsylvania and the mods are asleep.
No, really, no. It's more so like people want the NES Classic Edition, and it oversold basically, also, so they had to cancel orders.
Well, the thing with the NES Classic was that it was artificial scarcity, like the Wii.
And then people kept buying more so that they can scalp online,
like the Wii.
So it's like creating more demand or
supply and demand, basically.
Yeah, I know that was the thing with the Wii. Like they kind of like didn't have enough, because people were pre-ordering it to such an extent that I don't think they could make enough. I don't know. But also Game Attack made a video of there was this thing that they heard that there is a bittering agent that on the PS Classic that kind of like what they have with Play-Doh, and also so the guy licked it and he just like looks at the camera and he's just like, yep. It tastes like shit.
Yeah,
so it's literally them. It's just licking it.
But that's all I have to say regarding Kingdom Hearts 3.
I've seen those things sell in Walmart for $40.
What, the classics?
Yeah, the PlayStation Classic.
How much is it usually?
It retailed for $100 at launch.
It went down in price to like $25, I think.
Like during peak sales, like $25-$30 around here.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because you want to know why? Because
no one bought it.
They didn't think to put better games on there. No one thought that.
Some of the games they put on were locked to the PAL frame rates and visuals, while some were unlocked to NTSC. And that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
So
and the emulation was so bad compared to Nintendo's offerings
Classic,
for the NES Classic and SNES Classic that it was like, what's the point? You're better off going out and buying a PlayStation 1, like a legitimate PlayStation 1, or a PlayStation 2, or a PlayStation 3, for that matter, because then you could play all your PlayStation 1 games on there.
Right.
And it's a lot cheaper. Sure, the rising game costs and everything, but there's not so legal ways, and I don't advocate for that to get these games.
Anyway.
We're not saying don't do it. We're saying just don't get caught. We also are kind of saying don't pirate shit. I mean, you wouldn't download you wouldn't download the Death Star plans. You wouldn't download a bag of dicks.
You wouldn't download a car.
Yeah, you wouldn't download a meme.
All right, but
anyway,
that is all for video games this week. I would be talking about the Forza Horizon 4 car pass, but we've got a big enough show as it is because of Scarfy and his movies.
Yes, we do. So we're gonna get right
pages.
into. Dude, relax. I mean, movies are the most relatable subject. What do you think's gonna happen?
What do you mean most relatable? Well,
it's the one that people immediately go to first before ever going to video games or music. No offense to video games or music. I mean, it's the most relatable one.
I'm not going to argue, but I'm going to say something about that. I think because there's an extent, I think it's more to like from music to movies and music to video games than rather video games to movies. That connection is poor, but their music is connected to both of those, so it's like a three-way thing. So they're all very intertwined, and there's also both movies and music that have big cultural impacts as well as video games themselves. I mean, everyone knows what Pac-Man is, so there's like
Anyway,
there's big everything is like has its cultural impacts in their own rights, I guess.
Anyway, we have movies, and the first thing that we're going to talk about
Oscars
is the 91st Academy Awards, aka the Oscars. On Tuesday of January 22nd, I was able to witness the Oscar nominations with my own eyes. The Oscars will be taking place on February 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Naturally, before that, we're going to be having that stupid thing that people don't give a shit about, and that's the red carpet. Because unless you want to watch celebrity gossip, we don't. That's the only reason I can entice you to see it. And I'm just going to say this right now.
You might have a better time watching TMZ. I don't know.
Yeah,
TMZ.
We don't like... Yeah, Naka, do you like celebrity gossip or no?
No, I find it stupid.
Yes. Which is not a good enough reason for me at all. Anywho, let's talk Oscars. Unfortunately...
I want to interrupt you real quick. I was just double-checking the Streamlabs, and Jason Cervini, I'm not sure if you're here, but thank you for subscribing yesterday.
Okay.
I just wanted to throw that out there. But,
okay.
Go on, continue.
You.
Unfortunately, I don't have time to go over every single Oscar animated category. That's up for you guys, the viewers, if you want to do it. However, we do have to talk about the main two ones, at least, according to Set. What?
Nominated. Animated was one of the categories.
I know. I said it.
Yeah.
You said animated.
I said it.
Okay, unless I'm actually going insane, you said.
Unless I don't have... Okay, let me reread that again. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go over every single Oscar-nominated category. Okay. That's up for you guys, the viewers, if you want to do it. However, we do have to talk about the main two ones, at least according to Set. So, we're going to start with Best Animated Feature. Are you happy now, Krüz? Are you happy? Okay, let's get started. All right, so Naka has 2 slides. Is that correct?
I've got tons of slides and tons of copy and pasting.
2 for this one, for this section.
So for this section, I just need you to interlink between both the two for a couple, like give it a 30-second show, then give the other one a 30-second show, then kind of intermingle back and forth with this one, okay? For Best Animated Feature, the nominees are Incredibles 2, Brad Bird, Pixar Animation Studios. Isle of Dogs, Wes Anderson, Indian Paintbrush. Mirai, Mamoru Hosoda, Studio Chizu. Ralph Breaks the Internet, Rich Moore and Phil Johnston, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, Bob Persichetti and Peter Ramsey, Sony Pictures Animation. The only film in the group that I haven't seen is Mirai, so I can't really judge based on how well that film did. I do remember showing Naka and Krüz the trailer, and it looked gorgeous, just that whole animation scene.
Yeah, it gave me the feeling of a Ghibli movie, almost.
Yeah.
Kind of like a cool feeling.
So I'm going to say this right now. I'd be happy with Spider-Verse or Isle of Dogs winning since they both did remarkably well, but I am kind of counting on Spider-Verse to winning. However, we'll see what happens.
Do you think that one's the favorite?
Guys, I actually did a typo in this next segment, so I'm gonna correct a couple words for this next sentence. As for Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet, I don't deny those are good movies because they are good. But I don't think they'd be held in high caliber compared to the other ones. But again,
I don't see the Incredibles winning it, even though it was pretty good.
But again, we'll just have to wait and see. For now, what do you have to say regarding this, Naka?
Oh,
Krüz?
Into the Spider-Verse is definitely it's got the highest chance of winning, and that's rather
God, and
unfortunate because
I'm still kicking myself for not having seen it yet, but I will see it.
Good. Like
I know
the first time I saw
everyone's praising it.
The first time I saw it, I was not very well, like emotionally, mentally stable, and I saw it with my sister, and I was able to keep myself contained. I didn't have to leave the theater or anything, but there were genuine scenes like when I can remember these feelings, and if I went back and watched it, I wouldn't feel these feelings so much where I'd be crying, but
right.
Some scenes actually put me I could deeply connect to it, and that's not normally something that most movies can do.
Yeah, one of the things that I did like, that I actually did like about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was just the amount of animation and the culture that was in. I can't tell if it's 2D animation, 3D animation, stop motion, or all three mixed into one, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. And it really embraces that whole pencil sketch of every comic book you tend to see. I don't know about you, Naka, but I mean that's how I personally feel. What do you think?
Oh no, albeit when I first went in, there were scenes where I thought the animation just kind of looked it felt like some of the edges weren't necessarily sharp. I'm talking in terms of video games, anti-aliasing, it wasn't there. But after the movie, I'm just wait, that's supposed to be the style of the movie. And how they were able to, get those little tiny intricacies down to a T for every single frame is a marvel of movie making technology.
I see what you did there.
Right, because
unintended pun. I was not thinking of what.
Because I think one of the biggest things with Spider-Verse is that it kind of does embrace the comic book, I want to say, in a way. It really does embrace that whole comic book style, if you think about it logically. So you definitely would like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse to win, even though... Did you see Isle of Dogs or no?
No, I did not, because it was such a limited release around my area.
Okay. I heard Krüz saw it, though.
It was a limited release, so it was only available in a theater... the closest theater to my home, actually. It wasn't available in Towson near my college, but I did see it, and I really enjoyed it because it had that classic charm that Mr. Fox had, but it was also, it didn't feel like it was rehashing anything. It felt like it was, it had that unique kind of humor. And I don't know, it's more like the stop and go humor where it's just someone says something and then just everyone's silent for a second and you just let it sink in. We also saw that weird little animated feature beforehand, the one about the dumpling that comes to life and then the mother eats it. I'm just okay, this is something apparently. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I guess that would be my pick because of the ones that I've seen, which the only other one was Incredibles 2. I think the Isle of Dogs would be the winner in my mind. But I have not seen Spider-Verse yet, but I don't doubt that it is a very, very hefty candidate.
All right, so for now, let's get to the nitty-gritty with nominees for Best Pictures, followed by their respectable director.
Oh, this is going to be so fun for me.
For Best Picture, the nominees are Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, Black Klansman, Spike Lee, Bohemian Rhapsody, Bryan Singer and Dexter Fletcher, The Favorite, Yorgos Lanthimos, Green Book, Peter Farrelly, Roma, Alfonso Cuarón, A Star is Born, Bradley Cooper, Vice, Adam McKay.
I'm just now getting to Roma.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you make me do this? Twitch chats have anti-spam protocols to prevent this stuff.
I know, right?
Why are you making me break those guidelines?
I don't know. So, I just want to let you know that I've seen 6 of the total Best Picture nods that we have, and the only two that I did not see are Green Book and Vice, and I wish I could have seen Green Book, but unfortunately I was extraordinarily busy trying to make ends meet with job and school. So I'll hopefully be able to see it when I can. As for Vice, I can't really judge based on how well it did, but all I can say was it was definitely the film that I kind of wish I did see had I known it'd be nominated for many awards. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, let's just say I'm kind of torn by this year of filmmaking. I expected a whole lot more out of the trailers that did so well, showing us potential Oscar performances. And half of the films presented there range from average to above average to masterpiece to blockbuster.
Remember Blockbuster when that was a thing? I remember.
That's interesting. Like, for instance, I was really surprised that not only First Man and If Beale Street Could Talk was snubbed from the Best Picture nod, and was disappointed that Mary Queen of Scots didn't do well enough. But that Sorry to Bother You, man, was that a film that needed more attention than that didn't get enough of? Case in point,
would that go under like best comedy category or something? I mean, I still haven't seen it. I know you want to see it, but
bear with me for a second. I need to go grab a snack real quick.
Okay. Case in point, it was a pretty weak and slow year for films when it comes to Oscar season, when I felt more films should have gotten more praise than others. It also really bothers me that only 8 films of the potential 9 or even 10 could have been nominated. And that really pisses me off. But anyways, back to the main point.
Sorry.
Wait, what?
You mean 8? Only 8 out of the possible 9 were nominated?
So
you're saying that one was snubbed?
Well, there have been times where there have been 9 or at least 10 Oscar nominations. So I'm just surprised that there's only 8 this year.
Oh, so there's less that are actually nominated.
All right, I've returned.
Yeah, I'll say.
Sorry about that.
Again, a lot of people were talking about it's kind of surprising to see Black Panther on here, but just like because it's everyone thinks it's in its pigeonhole of a Marvel superhero movie, but I will say at the very least it was the best the single hero movie since Iron Man 3, which. It was genuinely entertaining and really well acted.
I'm really surprised you even put Iron Man 3 as high caliber when it's filled with so many flaws. But anyway.
Well, there's basically only 2 movies. There's Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 3. We don't talk about 2 because that never happened.
Where is my bird?
There's Black Klansman. I think Black Klansman was pretty funny, except the little bullshit thing they put at the end, like there's good people on both sides. It's like fuck right off.
Did you see Black Klansman?
Yeah, it's like we've already had that shit rammed down our throats because I don't live that far away from Charlottesville. Yeah. So I know what fucking happened. Well, we're not going to talk about.
But anyway, I did want to bring up something. Go ahead.
The only ones I've seen were the first 3, and then Star is Born. And I think, honestly, my pick for this would have to be Rhapsody.
Okay,
that was the best out of them.
I do have a question. I understand that you did see A Star is Born despite your small distaste of Lady Gaga, and you actually really enjoyed it, didn't you?
I enjoyed it as a movie, and I think that it was I did appreciate the amount of self-awareness they had with Bradley when Lady Gaga goes to record her new song and Bradley Cooper's there and she records something that's like it's just like why are you walking with an ass like that or something like that, and then Bradley Cooper just looks at her and he's just like, what the fuck are you doing? I was just like, yeah, I felt the same way.
Right.
Roma, I didn't see Roma, but it does look like it would be a good, biopic movie, I guess you'd call it, in that way. But I think Rhapsody I would want Rhapsody to win out of all these because I thought that movie was excellently done. My dad, who is was more conservative than I am. He had a weird conflict with movies. Thought there were some things that were overdone, some things were underdone, but I think that he's a huge Mercury fan, still.
Right.
So, and as am I. I mean, he's got to be on the list at least. He's got to be on the top 10 list of singers of all time. I mean,
absolutely. There's no arguing that.
Yeah.
Because first of all, his range, the versatility he had with his different singing styles he would do within songs, which I think is something that's really cool.
Do you mind if I get to my main point?
Sure.
All right.
I just think Bohemian Rhapsody should be the winner because I thought I really enjoyed that movie, and I'm really glad they ended it with "Don't Stop Me Now." That's my favorite Queen song.
So for best picture, I would like to see Roma win. However, that one is probably going to win best foreign language film. So the Academy may say, well, Roma can't have it all. However, that is just speculation, but it's really true impressive that Roma has garnished 10 nominations in many different categories. Not only that,
that's an amount.
Not only that, to practically be the first Best Picture nomination that was distributed by Netflix, that's insane. It's like there's 2 ways to see movies now. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I was surprised.
It might shed the direct to Netflix kind of, what's it called?
Right.
Stereotype or it's like not stereotype. What's it called? Stigma. That's the word. That's the word. Yeah. Because could this be the film that breaks the barrier of films that are not in the mainstream language? In this case, English can just be fruitful and artistic as any other film in any other language. We'll just have to find out. Well, was it subtitled or what?
It was subtitled, but the original language was in Spanish.
Yeah, and I know there was somewhat about in Mexico City. I know it was it produced by like Mexican film company or something?
So, do you know? No, it was. Well, I don't know, Krüz. I only know the director. I don't know about the production company. The only thing that I know is that it was distributed by Netflix. That's all I know.
Welcome, Gruffer, and welcome back, Kyle.
Well, yes. Cuarón. I mean, I see the accent there. That looks like it.
Cuarón was responsible for directing A Little Princess, which none of you have seen, Children of Men, Harry Potter 3, and Gravity.
Oh, he directed that?
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
I didn't remember who the director was. I just remembered it was a lot of
I remember Sandra Gravity Bullock. Was awesome.
Yeah. It was a lot of Sandra Bullock hyperventilating. And also really...
Gravity was a fantastic movie, but anyway.
It was really immersive. It really lulled you into the kind of delirious... you would get that crazy experience being in space and having your shuttle destroyed.
Well, if that film doesn't win, I think it's safe to say that A Star Is Born may take it, despite me finding that film okay.
I think I don't know, would you admit that that Star Is Born is kind of like an Oscar baity kind of movie?
Yeah, like here's the thing, because there's been like 3 other films that have been the 3 other Star Is Borns, and I wouldn't be surprised if this one actually wins as well.
That one got my parents into a whole conversation about she's like, no, this actor was in the original, the 70s one or something. He's like, no, it was this actor. And Mom's like, no, I'm pretty sure it was this one. It's like, Dad's like, no, I know it was this one. And
you should have just why didn't you just research it?
I don't know. I just thought it was funny to watch. It's funny to watch argue about things like that.
Anyway, do you want me to move on?
Sure.
All right.
Well, before you say what you think is going to win Best Picture, I want to say mine just real quick. I've only seen one of these films, and that's Black Panther. But from the response that I've heard, when it comes to Green Book, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Vice, and A Star Is Born, it's a toss-up between those 4. When I first saw the trailers for Green Book, I'm just like, that's going to be an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Because, I just think of the story and, how it's a bit of a period piece, but, how well the trailer was made, for that matter.
Yeah.
And the critics were praising it at the time. It was like, that's probably going to be a Best Picture nomination. And honestly, that's kind of what I'm going for. Because, again, the only movie I've really seen is Black Panther this year.
Right.
And
so,
personally, I would have had Spider-Verse instead of... I personally would have had Into the Spider-Verse rather than Black Panther on the list, but that's just me.
I know.
It'd kind of be hard to, put... Like, Zootopia even, was a one best animated, but I don't think they were really put up for best overall. I mean, it would have to be something like... I imagine it would have to be something like Isle of Dogs caliber.
Yeah.
To really be there.
I do have to. So I hope I can continue. Because I do have a lot more to talk about. The Oscars have a tendency to surprise us before, both positively and negatively. So I'm just gonna go right off the bat. Black Klansman was admittedly okay for me, but I'm glad it is getting attention. Bohemian Rhapsody is a fun film, but I felt like because the film could have been so much more, it's not deserving of it. Plus, it already won the Golden Globe Best Picture Film of the Year. But we'll see what happens. The Favorite was an interesting picture, which neither of you seen, that I don't really know how to feel about, but I guess we'll have to see how they plan that out. One film, however, surprises me that is nominated, and that is Black Panther. I don't dislike the film by any means, because I really enjoyed it, and I do in fact own it. But at the same time, I also feel like it's a PR nomination because, hashtag Oscars so white, Academy doesn't care about blockbusters, etc.
But all the movies are whitewashed.
and that the Academy was originally going to make a Best Popular Film category. And the problem is that there's so much speculation that I simply can't just refuse to believe that it did something other superhero films did not.
You would think that also means it was nominated. I think because if it's the same cycle, this would mean that it was nominated over Infinity War.
Yeah, and that's kind of what bothers me.
That's big in and of itself. It's kind of like, well, Infinity War is a much bigger production, and a lot of more stuff went on. But it's also kind of like, I think that it's culturally, I guess, because of the largely African American cast, that it Black Panther was more groundbreaking with the people. And if that makes sense, it was kind of like more with the people being like, "Oh yeah, cool." Because my college took us on a trip, and we got tickets for like $5. So the tickets were cheaper, like seeing it with the school. But by and large, most of the students there were black, and they were. I assume, based on like how they're acting, that they were pleased with the film, and that was a little bit. It wasn't really that bothersome, but it was kind of just like, can you just watch the movie, please? But also, it's like, it was a really good movie, I think. And
there has to be something going on behind the scenes of the judges. There just has to with this particular film.
They kind of have to wonder about who's doing the nomination process. Is it like the Electoral College, like this sort of mythical being? You don't really know what's going on with them. But
yeah,
it is what it is now.
I'm not an Oscar judge, so maybe they see something I don't, but I can't. There's no way that you can just simply ignore that Black Panther is a good movie. I'm not saying it's not a good movie. It is a good movie.
Also, Michael B. Jordan is also in Rooster Teeth's new show.
Can I finish? Today. Sorry, you're kind of jumping the gun. I kind of need to finish. I'm not saying Black Panther is a bad film. Far from it. It's very good. But at the same time, and I don't know if it really does deserve the nominations it does. Maybe it does. I'm not too sure. But at the same time, you can't deny or can't pretend that speculation of this movie, and there's a lot of speculations regarding this movie as to why it was nominated, exists, because it does. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not an Oscar judge, so maybe they see something I don't. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. Naka, what do you have to say?
I kind of already got my piece out of the way.
I kind of meant to say. Well, I kind of meant to, what do you think about the whole, hashtag Oscar so white type thing?
It's just more political bullshit that I don't want to pay attention to because
it's
all it's going to do is
it's bad for you.
Because all it's just going to do is make me pissed, and yes, we need more inclusion in everything, equal rights, but I can only
Can we give an applause for Asian representation this year? It's like.
Okay.
Can we just not talk about politics, please? I'm fucking tired of talking
That's fine.
about politics.
That is
You're
perfectly
asking
fine.
me to talk about politics on a show where we don't talk about politics.
It's kind of like the same thing with.
I don't really
PewDiePie saying,
think talking about race equality is politics. I think it's more of like a social type issue. But I do understand what you're saying.
It very much leads into political discussion because it's kind of like they're very closely intertwined. There, of course, is stuff that's separate from politics, but as a poli-sci minor, unofficially, it's still very much tied in with.
Anyway,
yeah.
I saw some films over the winter just in case to see if anyone wanted me to tell them. This is in no particular order.
I am not copy and pasting all of these. You can do
you
that
don't have
yourself.
To. You don't have to. You don't have to. I was just already going to get to that. I was getting to that. You do not have to copy and paste all of these.
Yay!
But I thought I should give you a list of films that enlightened me and disappointed me. So let me just go off a list here. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, I was really disappointed by. I'm not going to lie. I really liked the first one, and I really think that J.K. Rowling does need to pay attention to her screenplays and her storytelling a lot more, because this film was kind of bad. I mean, like, I just felt I don't remember anything about the movie. The only thing that I remembered was that it stars these characters that I've seen before, and that's about it. It just doesn't do anything anymore. The next one I saw was Widows. It was okay. It was an interesting film. I was really surprised. Ralph Breaks the Internet. A lot of people hate this movie. I personally enjoyed it, but that's just me. I understand people get annoyed by the fact that it's the same. What makes this so different from the Emoji Movie? Quite a number of things, actually. But that's really all I can say. Creed 2, that was also really well done. I saw it in theaters. I finally got to see it after Ralph Breaks the Internet. It was really well done. Roma, I actually got to see. I was very, very impressed by it. It's on Netflix right now. It's a Best Picture nominee that's on Netflix that you can watch. I think Black Panther is also on Netflix as well, if I'm not mistaken. So be sure to check Netflix out if you want to, catch up on the Oscar nominations. But hey, that's really all I have to say. The Favorite, I actually got to see in one of my independent theaters. It was actually really well done. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Oh my God, I saw this movie twice. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did not get enough of it. I was very, very impressed. Now, for this movie, if Beale Street Could Talk, I was very, very... I saw this movie twice, and I was really surprised that this movie got snubbed, because it was just a fantastic film, and I was so upset that it didn't get, like, a Best Picture nod, when it should have. I was very, very, disappointed by that. I actually put The Favorite twice here. Oops. Well,
Black Panther is not. I don't think it's on Netflix. Infinity War is.
Black Panther's on Netflix.
Is it?
I'm gonna open up the app right now, and I will see if Black Panther's on Netflix.
I'm pretty sure it is right now.
I don't.
Until Disney pulls their content off of it or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Let's see. Yeah, it's still on my list. So yeah, Black Panther's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Where? I'm looking it up right now on Netflix. I don't see it. Where?
You're in Hungary.
They might not have the license in Hungary.
Well, fuck me.
That's why you need to get a VPN, and NordVPN is the solution for you.
Everyone's been talking about that, because that company has sponsored a lot of people.
I would get NordVPN if I didn't have to pay for it, but unfortunately I have to pay for it.
Well, things cost money. This is what the world is.
Things cost money, Scarfy.
Yeah, I know. Anyway.
For Cinnamon Toast Ken tweet, it's like, it costs money to leave the house.
The other movie that I saw Mary Poppins Returns. I was kind of disappointed by it. A lot of my friends really enjoyed it, but I didn't like it as much as they did. I think it was mostly because I thought the original was fantastic, but that's just personally my opinion. Aquaman, I actually got to see. I don't know if you saw it, Naka. I'm pretty sure you didn't, but I really enjoyed this one. Did you see Bumblebee?
Yes, I did see that, though.
I was, so I'm going to say this right now. Tell me you were not impressed by Bumblebee, because I sure as hell was.
The only thing I didn't like about Bumblebee was, the teenage romance cheese they had to put in it.
Hey, I mean, look at the bright side. At the very end, they don't really hook up.
Yeah, that's at least good.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not like the full Shia
but in the
LaBeouf,
case of
Megan
the
Fox
Transformers franchise, would you say it is such a breath of fresh air?
It is very much a good breath of fresh air because I didn't want Mark Wahlberg in another goddamn Transformers movie.
Mark Wahlberg.
Palmer.
I saw a movie with I think it was how related is this guy? Danny Wahlberg. Is it his cousin or son or I don't know something? But yeah, it was just like this anti-drug movie with
Anyway,
Danny Wahlberg in it.
The other movies that I saw were Unbreakable, and I saw Split.
It's a really good Sabaton song.
And I have not seen Glass yet. I was planning on going to see it. Far From Heaven, I actually got to see as well. I put Roma a second time again. What the hell is wrong with me? Okay.
So smart.
And then yesterday, I got to see The Boy Who Would Be King before work, and I was very, very impressed by it. I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised by what it was trying to be, and I actually really liked what I was seeing. So, I
thought it was the kid who would be king.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it was boy.
It's the kid who would be king. I don't know why I said boy. Fuck.
Boy.
Anyway, that's really all. Those are the movies that I saw over the winter. I think we're gonna move on with the week ahead. Can we?
Yeah, I've been waiting for you this whole time.
All right, let's move on. Well, keeping to tradition as to what we do all the time, we're going to be starting with our week ahead by a generic-looking trailer that we've seen over and over and over again with Miss Bala, an upcoming action thriller film directed by Catherine Hardwicke and written by Gareth Dunnet Oloser. It is based on the 2011 Mexican film the same name. More on that later. The film stars Gina Rodriguez, Ismael Cruz Cordova, and Anthony Mackie. Our story begins with Gloria, a makeup artist from Los Angeles who visits her best friend Suzu in Tijuana, Mexico. Unfortunately, Tijuana.
It's Tijuana.
I don't care. Unfortunately,
you get on my case about pronunciations. I have a right to get onto yours.
I'm in Hungary, and this language is fucking stupid.
Let's move on.
Stupidly arranged.
While visiting, her friend Suzu suddenly disappears at a nightclub. In the process of searching for and rescuing her, Gloria gets kidnapped and is forced to smuggle laundering money for a drug cartel. She works her way into good graces of the leader, Lino, as well as the DEA, which also takes part in this case. Gloria must turn the tables on everyone to escape and finds a power she never knew she had as she navigates a dangerous world of cross-border crime. Surviving will require all of her cunning, innovation, and strength. Basic bullshit, you know the rest. So
basically, she's going to have to become MacGyver.
So I have two things to say. First off, did I mention the director, Catherine Hardwicke, was the director of the first Twilight film? Yeah. That's already sending some red flags already. No offense to the director, but when the first thing that I see on your resume is that you made Twilight, that's already going to press some buttons for me, seeing how Twilight is an abysmal franchise.
Big oof.
And the second thing, it's literally a reboot of the original film that was made in Mexico in Spanish, in English. And this isn't the first time a film has done this. Every time I see something like this...
How long was the gap between the original and remake?
2011 to 2019. So about 8 years.
Enough.
I know.
What the fuck? Okay.
And this isn't the first film to have done this. Every time I see something like this, I find it so disgusting to take a foreign language film and redo the whole thing in a different language. It's just not a good choice at all. In fact, just makes me want to see the original film in its original language all the more because of it.
Why start from scratch when you don't have to? I mean, if the actors did a good job, you can just dub it. Or even just subtitle it. I mean, subtitling it might preserve more of its integrity as like the voice acting sounding genuine versus like just kind of like, dubbed over.
There's nothing really driving me to this movie, if only just to be an action thriller type thing. But in case you're interested, the film releases February 1st. I'm not interested.
No, neither am I.
It's kind of like
Just
as was in an Achievement Hunter podcast, there was an overwhelming meh.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go for another pseudo remake. Yay!
All right, so
A remake that shouldn't exist. Yay!
Cold Pursuit as an opposite to Need for Speed's Hot Pursuit.
another Liam Neeson thriller. Why Hollywood? You shouldn't have. Oh wait, you really shouldn't have.
Hey.
But wait, the production behind it
Taken
is
five.
the production behind it is at the very least is interesting. Cold Pursuit is an upcoming American action film directed by Hans Petter Molland, from a screenplay by Frank Baldwin. The film is a loose remake of the Norwegian film In Order of Disappearance, also directed by Molland, and stars Liam Neeson, Laura Dern, Emmy Rossum, and Tom Bateman. Quiet family man and hardworking snowplow driver Nels is the lifeblood of a glitzy resort town in the Rocky Mountains because he is the one who keeps the winter roads clear. He and his wife live in a comfortable cabin away from the tourists. The town has just awarded him Citizen of the Year, but Nels has to leave his quiet mountain life when his son is murdered by a powerful drug lord. As a man who has nothing to lose, he is stoked by a drive for vengeance. This unlikely hero uses his hunting skills and transforms from an ordinary man into a skilled killer as he sets out to dismantle the cartel. Oh, for God's sake.
So he's trying to be the equalizer.
Yeah, like Nell's actions ignite a turf war between a manically unpredictable gangster known as Viking and a rival gang boss. Justice is served in one final spectacular confrontation that will leave almost no one unscathed. So the interesting thing about this movie is that despite it being an English-speaking remake of a foreign film, it's actually directed by the exact same director, Hans Petter Molland. However, one thing I do realize is that the film is kind of giving me different vibes because its tone is all over the place. I can't tell if it's trying to be an action-packed adventure or a cold-handed thriller, pardon the wordplay. And I don't know what to say. Like, I look at it and it's just like, I feel like I'm watching The Revenant Modern Edition, and it just doesn't feel that. And the Revenant is a far superior film compared to this movie.
I mean, I likened it more to The Gray.
Oh, well.
Because that was another movie with Liam Neeson in the snow, but that one was badass.
Yeah, but there was no wolves in this one. Anyway.
Well, I know, but still.
And I still wish I could be interested, but I'm not. However, maybe you guys are. The film releases February 8th. Naka, I don't have much to say regarding this
it's
one.
just basically it's an alternate universe taken.
That's the thing. You've seen one Liam Neeson film, you've pretty much seen them all.
Remember Liam Neeson used to be like really good when he was in Schindler's List?
But they're entertaining. Yes, Schindler's List was a great movie. Liam Neeson is not a bad actor. I mean, he's really good. He's also because I did a project on Northern Ireland. He's from Northern Ireland, as is Rory McIlroy, the famous golfer. This is a movie I just kind of like is. With me in action movies, I'm kind of like an acceptance with them as like being like kind of like a big blockbuster, and then everyone forgets about them. But that's just what it's meant to be. It's meant to be like a fun thing you go out and do just because it's not supposed to be memorable. It's just supposed to be a fun experience. But yeah, Liam Neeson does it well. I think he might be nearing the end of the period where he can just really, milk his action roles for everything they've got. But I don't know how many more he's going to really be able to do that actually become successful. Because, I mean, the last ones I saw were Unknown, the one where he gets amnesia, and then the one where he's on the plane.
Okay.
And you can't even remember the names. It's just that and the one where he was on the plane.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want me to move on to the next trailer, which I am kind of really excited to see?
Oh, the good one out of this bunch?
Yeah.
We get to the horror.
Well,
anyway,
one of the two good ones, I should say. Excuse me.
Yes. Wow. I'm speechless, shocked, and stunned all at the same time. The Prodigy is an upcoming American horror thriller film directed by Nicholas McCarthy and stars actors Taylor Schilling and Jackson Robert Scott. Taylor Schilling stars in The Prodigy as Sarah, a mother whose young son Miles' disturbing behavior signals that an evil, possibly supernatural force has overtaken him. Fearing for her family's safety, Sarah must choose between the maternal instinct to love and protect Miles and a desperate need to investigate what or who is causing his dark turn. She is forced to look for answers in the past, taking the audience on a wild ride, one where the line between perception and reality become frighteningly,
Blurred lines.
blurry. So, first off, I should mention that child in the poster looks familiar. That's actually Georgie from Stephen King's It 2017, and we're still waiting for the second part of the movie to come out, which is supposed to come in September, but we haven't gotten a teaser trailer for that, so we'll deal with that.
We'll have to see if another Anthrax song is included, and if so, which one.
I'm really astounded and amazed that he's putting off another horror performance like this. Also, Taylor Schilling is an actress from Orange is the New Black, the critically acclaimed comedy drama series on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's why she looks familiar.
So I don't know if the movie. So I don't.
Really good job.
So I don't know if the movie is going to be any good, but while I was watching this trailer, man, like this trailer was beautifully effective.
It's intense.
I felt like I was watching a quick short film. The timing, the pacing, everything about this trailer and the way it was made and edited, and it's rare that I say this, was brilliant. Beautifully effective, instantly grabbed my attention. I almost wanted to see the film because of that. I just hope the film will be just as good, and I hate that feeling. I can't stand it when the trailer seems so more grabbing than the movie, and then you realize, oh, the movie's not as good. Well, damn. Hopefully that's not the case, but we'll have to wait and see. Other than that, the film releases February 8th as well. What do you have to say regarding this trailer, Naka?
Honestly, because, you don't call boats a he, Georgie. But because, It 2017 was kind of I didn't know really what to expect from it other than it was really good afterwards. So I definitely want to give this a shot because, I've kind of grown on horror movies recently. So, it looks really good and I hope it does really well. I don't want it to just blow its load on the trailer and then have no substance in the movie.
I hate it when that happens to you.
Unfortunately, that is a thing that's happened before. And Screw Attack, which too much chagrin to viewers, has moved that the top 10 of Screw Attack has moved to the no, and a lot of the no viewers are kind of just like, what the fuck is this? But apparently they did it because of YouTube algorithm bullshit, which unfortunately is really forcing a lot of people to take drastic measures. But I'm glad the kid here is getting another horror role because he lends himself to it in like looking properly creepy in it, or looking like kind of innocently creepy kind of way.
Right.
The trailer for this, I had a similar reaction to you. It was just kind of like I was like almost tensing up through the trailer, just wondering like what the fuck's going to happen. It kind of reminded me a little bit of a scene from I accidentally said Insidious. I meant The Conjuring 2, where like the little girl is just sitting in an armchair, and it's a scene where she has water in her mouth to prove that she's not actually talking. That if a voice comes from her, that it would be the spirit talking, not her, because she can't talk with water in her mouth, obviously. That's a little much too detailed, but whatever. Hopefully this is good. I'm excited to see this because there's been some pretty good horror movies. I mean, The Conjuring is probably my favorite horror movie of all time because it was really well done. And
right.
James Wan, I think, who also directed Aquaman. It's also kind of interesting that James Wan is the guy who goes between horror and superhero films, kind of like James.
Well, he also directed Furious 7, I think, or was that Fate of the Furious? I'm not too sure.
I think he directed one of those.
Yeah.
But I was just almost at James Raimi. I mean, Sam Raimi, who started out with Evil Dead, which became a cult classic, and went on to direct like the widely hailed Spider-Man 2.
Anyway.
So yeah, you have those similarities, which is really cool, and I think this should be good. Also, fucking Hereditary, that was a great horror movie.
Anyway, do you want me to move on to the next trailer?
One man wow.
Yes.
What do I want?
To a
what do I want?
shitty
I want
movie.
beer.
Well, this film is
shitty
certainly
movie.
something. Unfortunately, the reboots
This
and
movie
remakes do
sucks.
not end here.
I hate
What
this
Men Want
movie.
is an upcoming American
This
fantasy
movie
comedy.
sucks. I hate it.
You're fucking up Scarfy's
I'm not
words.
allowing you to speak because this movie sucks much.
You're speech jamming Scarfy.
I don't fucking care. This movie is awful.
Scarfy is now having an aneurysm because of you.
This movie is horrible.
Can I finish it?
The only good part about this movie is Shaquille O'Neal thinking in his own mind in the third person.
In the third person?
Why does
shouldn't I be in an Icy Hot commercial?
That's
What
the
men
only
want-
good thing about this movie. Everything else can just go die in a fucking shithole. I'm done.
What Men Want is an upcoming American fantasy comedy film directed by Adam Shankman.
Fantasy comedy.
A remake of the 2000 film What Women Want. I don't know if you guys saw that one. I didn't, but hey. The film stars Taraji P. Henson, Aldous Hodge, and Tracy Morgan. Based off the original film, Allie Davis is a successful sports agent who's constantly boxed out by her male colleagues. When Allie is passed up for a well-deserved promotion, she questions what more she needs to do to succeed in a man's world, until she gains the ability to hear men's thoughts. With her newfound power, Allie looks to outsmart her colleagues as she races to sign the next basketball superstar, but the lengths she has to go to will now put her relationship with her best friends and a potential new love interest to the test. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I never saw the original film, and if you're a person who likes chick flicks, more power to you. I'm not going to bash someone on that. But and don't get me wrong, I don't hate them because there are some chick flicks that seem really well done. Seriously, I mean, check out Crazy Rich Asians. Very well done film.
You mean chick flicks that are actually movies and not just, a pandering circle jerk?
Yes. However, I don't know if this is a film that I want to go see, but hey, if you're looking to have a laugh, quote unquote, I think you'll get your money's worth. The film releases February 8th. Once again, if you're interested. And Naka, I don't think you even need to go.
I'm done.
This movie's stupid.
It's stupid.
Why does this movie, out of all of the trailers that you've seen, why does this one gets the stupid award this year?
Why does this get the stupid award? Because What Women Want is a very dumb movie, and my entire family agrees. And
you fight dumb. This is how you do things.
I saw this trailer.
Dumber.
I saw this trailer live in the theaters, and I'm just like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
I honestly thought
this
it was
is horrible. And this isn't me just trying to pander to my sister who's an SJW. I thought it was legitimately awful.
Wow.
I mean, and if someone like her thinks it's awful, then it's probably actually awful. But for me, it's just kind of I feel like some of the moments in the trailer were funny. I did post in the comments. He's like, "Why does it smell like toast? I have toast in my pocket." And you realize how stupid guys' thoughts are because they are. I mean, not all the time, but there's a significant portion of the time where we think very stupid things, and that happens. But I don't think that alone, that kind of comedy alone, is enough to really make it worthwhile. In my mind, it just kind of seems like to me, just kind of I mean, people who want to watch it will. I'm just kind of whatever. It's just kind of
All right. Well, do you want to move on to the well? Let me just do this. Hey, Krüz. Darkness. No parents. Well, everything is awesome and will always be awesome. Looks like it's time to open with arguably one of the biggest blockbusters around the start of the year, The Lego Movie 2, the second part, an upcoming computer-animated musical science fiction comedy film produced by the Warner Animation Group. A direct sequel to The Lego Movie 2014, it will be the fourth film in the franchise set to follow the releases of both the first film spin-offs, the Lego Batman movie and the Lego Ninjago movie, both released in 2017. Animal Logic, who provided the animation for all the films of the franchise, is also returning. The film is directed by Mike Mitchell with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, writers and directors of the first film, returning as producers and writers. Animation direction is by Trisha Gum. It is featured with the reprised roles of Chris Pratt, Elizabeth Banks, Will Arnett, Charlie Day, Alison Brie, Nick Offerman, and Will Ferrell, along with new additions to the cast including Tiffany Haddish, Stephanie Beatrice, and Maya Rudolph. Literally 5 years, both in film and in real time wise, since the first film.
5 years, wow.
Yeah, Finn's sisters Bianca has grown up and started taking some of the Finn's Legos and other toys to play with her in her own room. Metaphorically, in the Lego universe, the Duplo invaders, having turned Bricksburg into a post-apocalyptic wasteland, while his friends have become hardened over the change, Emmett remains upbeat, and he inadvertently draws the attention of General Sweet Mayhem from the Star system. Mayhem, with the help of the Duplo invaders, capture Emmett's friends and takes them back to the shapeshifter Queen whatever Wanabe, who has great plans for taking over the universe. Emmett teams up with the intergalactic hero Rex Dangervest to launch a rescue mission. So I'm a huge Lego movie nerd. I love Legos. I love the first movie. I love both the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie, while the Lego Ninjago movie was really hit or miss. But in all honesty, the movies have done really above average. I've been wanting for a legit new Lego movie sequel to come out for a while, and I gotta say, I'm happy that we're getting one finally. I kind of want to see what this particular film is going to pull off with its messaging, so we'll just have to wait and see. As if I need to go into much detail, this particular film I've been excited about for a while, so we'll have to see what this film has in store. There's actually a screening of it playing a week early at my theater in about a half hour or so at this minute until it premieres next week. But hey, I'm here doing the show for you guys, so you have me to thank for. So we'll have to wait and see it until it comes out on February 8th.
You don't have to talk about most of these coming attractions. You can go and see the movie. I'm not going to hold that against you.
Nice try.
No, I'm being serious. If you wanted to go see that goddamn movie, go.
Nah, I'm good. Interestingly, because the Lego company was based in Denmark, the film would be releasing there a day early on February 7th, which is, it's because Lego's in Denmark. It makes more sense. So, Naka, I'm excited for this movie. I don't know about you, but I really want to see it.
Who isn't? Who saw the first movie, okay?
Did you like the first movie?
No shit. Why else would I be excited for this movie?
It was just fun because it was shits and giggles. I mean, I know Zach had a little different opinion. As he just thought it was too all over the place. I thought, well, that's kind of what it's trying to do, in my opinion. I mean, obviously it is, but some of the humor is dumb in this, but the part obviously some humor is dumb, but
I mean, you can't have a Lego movie without dumb humor. I mean, one of my favorite lines in the Lego movie, and this made the audience crack the fuck up, was when they mention Harry. It's like, when you say Harry, I go, when you say the other guy, I go, like the whole theater cracked up at that, and I was just like, I don't know about you, but I laughed really hard at that. Did you like the jokes that they were throwing, Naka?
I don't remember that joke.
You don't?
I honestly thought though that Lego Batman was a little bit better than the regular Lego movie, in my opinion. And there's something that really speaks to my existence as a person, just being like, you can't just wear dark clothes and listen to angry music for the rest of your life. Well, fucking excuse you, bitch.
Yeah, but
I shall do as I please. What?
But you do want to see this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean,
why are you asking questions that you already know the answers to?
Because you can. It's like, why does anyone ask rhetorical questions? Because apparently they can. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Name 6 ways humans are better than chickens. See? Nobody can do it.
Yeah. Anyway.
We don't smell bad. Never mind.
All right. Time for 47,000 coming attractions.
No, not really.
Yes, 47,000.
And we had to, and plus, don't forget the +1.
Well, I already added that in.
The straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak.
The camel that broke the straw's back?
26 coming attractions. But anyway, let's start.
Braggity brag, calculating the exact number of coming attractions.
Let's kind of move on. I said 26, but anyway. State like sleep. A woman grapples with the consequences of her celebrity husband's double life after he commits suicide. Yeah,
Meh, celebrity drama, don't care.
Yeah,
13 reasons why. Fuck off. And here's the thing with 13 Reasons Why. It's not because it offends people that might be sensitive. If you're sensitive to it, you're a pussy. And also, it's just an objectively bad show. Okay.
Anyway, do you want to move on to the next trailer?
Go.
Captive State, set in Chicago neighborhood nearly a decade after occupation by an extraterrestrial force, a group of people explores the lives on both sides of the conflict, the collaborators and the dissidents. This looks kind of interesting, at least.
Yeah, it's a really interesting concept.
Yeah,
it's got John Goodman too.
I love John Goodman.
I saw a trailer for it in the theaters. I'm just like, this seems like an interesting movie.
Honestly, one of my favorite John Goodman roles was actually in 10 Cloverfield Lane. He was genuinely creepy in that movie.
No, he was very well done. I think he put on a fat suit, or maybe he put on some weight. I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
Seriously though, I love
John Goodman does not put on a fat suit. Okay, he
no John.
That like you're just
Chunk Goodman.
Wait, what?
I said Chunk Goodman.
No. What was Naka gonna say?
I don't know.
You don't put John Goodman in a fat suit because he wouldn't.
You put a fat suit in John Goodman.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like
Anyway.
It's like putting like little people's shoes on Vern Troyer. Well, Vern Troyer's dead, but like, he was tiny. Like, there's dwarves, midgets, but then there's Vern Troyer, who is like a midget. Who was, I should say.
Right.
Vern Troyer.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Man, I can't believe
Vern
Bumblebee.
Troyer was Mini-Me. Anyway.
Oh, he's that guy. Oh.
Anyway, do you want me to move on to
Let's move on to a different version of Gravity, but in a good way.
High Life? A father and his daughter struggle to survive in deep space while they live in isolation. Albeit it's kind of
cabin
interesting
fever,
concept.
but in space.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen Cabin Fever, but it does look interesting at least. And I think
I'm talking like the actual kind of like psychological feeling of cabin fever, but in space where no one can hear you die.
I'm just glad that Robert Pattinson has found, a rather good resume after his, thing in Twilight. That's all I can say,
And the fourth Harry Potter movie.
Oh, right. He was in that. He was in that, wasn't he? Well, what an obscure reference. Anyway.
Who put their name in the goblet of fire?
Harry Potter.
Anyway, do you want to move on to the next trailer?
In the book, Dumbledore is like, Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire? But in the movie, he's like, Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
He's like, in the movie, he's like, oh, why'd you do that? In the movie, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Anyway, do you want me to move on to the next trailer?
To large metal. Yes, there we go.
Little Woods. Two sisters who work outside the law who have now dug deeper into a hole towards authorities must now abandon their crusade. Crusade.
What?
Crusade.
That kind of doesn't. I don't know. That's kind of like a little bit different than like what the trailer was. It's like she steals stuff to get medicine for her mom. That's kind of like Catch That Kid movie.
Yeah. Wait,
they rob a bank to pay for
holy
their
shit! You know about Catch That Kid? Damn.
Yeah, I remember that movie. It's like they robbed the bank to pay for their dad's spinal surgery or something. Yeah, I remember that movie. I was an OG. I was a '90s kid.
But it just seems kind of It's like, oh, I'm going to go steal things so I can provide for my family when you can just apply for financial aid and health insurance.
Anyway. Do you want to move on to the next trailer?
Oh, I didn't know I was back in New Jersey because the mascot of my school district was the Mustang.
No, but seriously, the Mustang, a violent convict who is given the chance to participate in a rehabilitation therapy program, must now take charge by training Mustangs while befriending one of them. I mean, it does look interesting. I did find this kind of interesting. I don't know about you, but hey. Anyone? Hello?
It's basically just like, it's like, you can get out of jail early, but you have to be friends with a horse. I would just still say in jail because I hate horses.
I don't know. Having a sister who pursued horseback riding, you kind of ended up being around horses. Once you get used to the smell of shit, it's not that bad. You just get over the smell of shit, and it's not that bad. I don't know. From the thumbnail, the guy kind of looks like Vladimir Putin. I should say. thumbnail of the trailer. I always thought that was kind of funny. It looks like it should be like a, I don't know, kind of like one of those feel-good movies of like a story of redemption, like a guy who's, I don't remember exactly what he did. Was it murder or something like that?
I don't know either, but
it's like someone who's really turning their life around. Oh, I guess it's kind of like a feel-good story, I guess.
Anyway, do you want to move on to the next one? This is interesting.
It's basically
This one, I didn't really know what to expect from this, but the end of the trailer is just, and the sound effect was also weirdly cheesy, but also weirdly terrifying too.
Brightburn, a child from another world, crash landed on Earth, but instead of becoming a hero to mankind, he proved to be something far more sinister.
Yeah.
So I mean, basically what Goku was supposed to be in Dragon Ball.
Really?
An evil Goku.
Well, Goku was originally sent to Earth to take over Earth and become the destroyer of evil there, but he got hit on the head and was raised by Master Roshi and Krillin.
So
he got hit on the head? Really?
Yeah, no.
I guess so.
I believe that's what the official explanation was in the lore. So, but he was supposed to be there and just take over the world. That's why when Reddit showed up, he's like, "Why haven't you destroyed the planet? Why haven't you enslaved the entire human race?" Oh, I thought I was a human. That's basically what it was like.
It's like, right. I'm a human?
It's because Goku, well, Goku's a Saiyan.
Yeah. He's not human.
He's not human, and he has a
Super Saiyan.
But basically, that's why Raditz was so surprised. It's like, why haven't you taken over the planet?
Speaking of Dragon Ball, did you see the Broly movie yet or not yet?
I have not seen the Broly movie because I have been busy.
Ah, well. Anyway, do you want me to move on to the next trailer?
I assume that wasn't...
Well, before I get to the next trailer, doesn't this one looks interesting?
It does. That's why I'm like, because I made the connection with Dragon Ball Z, I'm just like, I like to see where this is going.
It's kind of like Insidious, except that the kid actually becomes like a terrifying, possessed super
What
creature.
metalworking furry said? He got hit on the head and had amnesia, so he
got in more ways than one. He got put into amnesia, the Dark Descent.
Anyway, let's move on to the next horror trailer. Greta. A young woman befriends a lovely widow who's harboring a dark and deadly agenda towards her. Wow.
Oh, so that's how many coming dark and deadly agenda. That's how I feel every time there's 26 or more coming attractions.
Yeah, I looked and like, okay, I'm making good progress. I looked at the other coming attractions and I'm like, fuck me.
No, but really, about this trailer, didn't it seem kind of interesting how the tonal shift went from, oh, this looks like a feel-good movie, oh, shit.
Again, it reminds me of the Stephen King novel and movie, which I'm completely blanking on the title of, where it is like the main character is a famous writer, his car breaks down, and he has a car accident.
Misery.
Misery, yeah, that's what I was thinking of when I saw this trailer.
You saw Misery?
Well, I've seen reviews of it and stuff.
It's really good.
And it is a great movie, and I've seen parodies of it, but, that's what it reminded me of.
Right.
Was that synopsis almost.
Almost, but it's in a different type of way.
In a good way.
Yeah. And Krüz, what do you have to say about this one?
I don't know. I didn't read Misery. I did for the horror fiction class. We read Carrie, and also, of course, the professor and I just gushed over our favorite Edgar Allan Poe novels. He said his favorite was Telltale Heart, and I'm like, no, I said my favorite is Telltale Heart, and he just said, oh man, that's my favorite too. That one terrified me as a kid, but it was ironically, here I am now. I'm not really sure what to think about Brightburn, or not Greta. God damn it, I'm stupid. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on. I think I watched the trailer, but I also wasn't kind of paying attention. But I did watch the trailer because it says it was in my history, but I clearly didn't pay attention to it. But this kind of seems like, shit that seems normal gets real fucked real quick.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to move on to the next trailer?
Let's move on to Get Out 2: Electric Boogaloo.
No,
I say that as a joke, but it actually looks really good.
No, I would this trailer. Holy shit!
To me, it's Get Out 2. It's Get Out meets You're Next.
I don't know. I don't know what it's trying to be, but us.
It's the same kind of movie as You're Next.
A mother and father take their kids to their beach house, expecting to enjoy time with friends, but their serenity turns to tension and chaos when some visitors who look like them arrive uninvited. Just holy shit! I did not imagine Lupita Nyong'o in this type of role at all, because she's like she really pulls it off. The urban look and urban talk and all that kind of stuff.
Urban look and urban talk.
So what do you have to say regarding this trailer, Naka? Because holy shit!
I'm just like, where are these evil clones coming from? Are they like Are they like genetically mutated like rabbits or something like that? What's going on? That's what like part of that is just like the mystery of how these people came to be. So it's very intriguing.
Yeah,
I don't know if that like. I mean, with how. I didn't see the full movie of Get Out. I did see a kill count from Dead Meat, which is a really good, I guess, a good summary. It does focus on the deaths that happen. But I think that my apprehension, part of my apprehension with Get Out was thinking that it was just kind of like a cheesy one-off from Peele, being like, okay, I can make a horror movie, I'll just fucking do it. But apparently he seems to have committed to it, having done another one now. And this one does bear a lot of resemblance to me to the movie You're Next, which of course was another cheesy slasher in its own right. I don't think it was a remake, was it? I don't know. No, I'm getting it mixed up with The Strangers. The reason I compare it to You're Next is kind of because the people kind of invade the house and kind of like slowly, torture the people and sort of just terrify them.
But anyway.
But yeah, I think I'll give this one a shot if I can get to see it. And also would probably just might as well go and see Get Out.
Need I remind you, it's directed by Jordan Peele, the guy who directed Get Out, which was also very well done. So if there's any speculation as to see of why you should see a horror film, this is definitely one of them.
I think that, and I said this before we were live, that Peele has seemingly committed to the cheesy slasher genre, and I don't always, cheesy doesn't always mean isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes even us horror fans, I mean, there are some really bad horror movies, but there's some like ones that are just so cheesy that it's good. It's kind of like you just kind of have to bathe in the cheese, savor the cheese. I don't know. I just being dumb.
Anyway, don't move on to the next trailer.
Yes.
Hotel Mumbai. Based off a real-life event, hotel staff risks their lives to keep everyone safe as people make unthinkable sacrifices to protect themselves and their families. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw this trailer, and I didn't know it was at the time it was based off a real-life event. I thought it was just gonna be, this poor old man is working at one of the high-class, hotels to make life work, and it looks kind of nice and it looks kind of well shot. And then they bring the thriller aspect in, and I'm like, really? Like immediately they show off the gun, and then I realized, it's based off a real life event. Oh, I didn't know about that.
I was thinking that I also didn't realize this. Remember that movie, The Grand Budapest Hotel?
Yeah,
it's where I am.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from this one.
I think how stupid I am to just now realize that. I thought it was going to be more like a hotel that. Or I don't know, I don't know. I was thinking of Hotel California, but this is more like a movie, kind of like a Detroit.
Right.
That was an intense movie.
So what do you have to say regarding this trailer, Naka?
Honestly, because of the subject matter, I don't really necessarily feel comfortable seeing a movie about it. Like,
it's just about a terrorist attack.
It's about the 2008 attacks in Mumbai.
Oh, right. I didn't read that.
You didn't put two and two together?
Detroit was also based off of real events, but I was like, I didn't. Again, you have to realize how amazingly simultaneously intelligent and stupid I am. It takes something special to be both simultaneously intelligent and stupid.
I don't know, man, because like watching something like that, and then whenever my dad would have to go to India for a business trip, because it's probably gonna happen soon, it would just make me paranoid.
I see.
Oh,
No, I can definitely understand how that could really piss people off, and it's not that type of thing, and but anyway, do you want to move on?
Let's go to adult Ed and Eddie. Let's lighten the mood.
Two drunk parents attempt to hide their ever-increasing financial difficulties from their daughter and social circle through elaborate neighborhood schemes. Yeah, drunk parents is literally adult Ed and Eddie. Now that I think about it,
I approve.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure what was going on. I know that the person, the actor, I can't remember his name, but was familiar with the ginger guy who was he's like, I have to tell you, I'm a registered sex offender. He's like, come again? But after that, I kind of got lost and I was like, wait, but why did the people who aren't sex offenders have to move out? Were they caught for something? I don't know. But it just looks like it's some stupid fun to look at, I guess.
Yeah, it looks interesting to say the least. What do you think, Naka? I mean,
it's adult Ed and Eddie. That's already enough.
Oh, well.
To suck me in.
Do you want to move on to the next trailer then?
To a movie that I don't want to even have in my house.
Why?
Because I don't like Nancy Drew. I've never been a fan of the novels, not a fan of the movies.
Well, Nancy Drew in The Hidden Staircase. A bit of an outsider struggling to fit into her newest surroundings, a smart and intriguing girl and her pals set out to solve the mystery, make new friends, and establish their place in the community. Nancy Drew is one of those novels that sadly I haven't read. It's the same reason why I've never read The Hardy Boys or anything like that, or I'm not too sure if you ever read The Hardy Boys, but
I have not, but I've heard a lot about the books, I guess.
Yeah.
I think, did the same author also write Boxcar Kids? What was it?
Boxcar Kids?
It was Boxcar something. I think it was the same author.
Well, the author is Carolyn Keene, and then Boxcar Kids. Let me take a look. The Boxcar Kids. The Boxcar Children, you mean?
Yeah.
No, that was made by Gertrude C. Warner.
Okay, I thought it was. Oh,
yeah.
That's not the same person.
But anyway, that's all I have to say regarding this movie. It's produced by, Ellen DeGeneres, and I have nothing against her, but
nothing
hey,
against her, but I'm not.
Is she making a movie?
Yeah,
she's producing it.
Okay. Apparently she does that now.
Anyway,
nothing against Ellen DeGeneres as a person, but I don't like her show.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't like what she makes as a content creator.
Yeah,
I mean,
nothing against.
She's a content creator.
I mean, she's a good-hearted person. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, let's move on to the next trailer. It's
unless you're not a democratic socialist. What?
King of Thieves. A crew of retired crooks who pulled off a major heist in London's jewelry district quickly turns into a brutal nightmare due to greed.
It is a Grand Theft Auto 5 heist gone wrong, and I mean that in a good way because Grand Theft Auto 5 single player
GTA
heist
meets Grand Tour.
Did I mention that I think this is based off a true story?
You just mentioned it now. And I'm not insulting this movie because it reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 5 single player, but Grand Theft Auto 5 single player was really, really good.
Oh, I can tell.
Frankly.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, but hey. Do you want to move on to the next trailer, though?
The PBS show now on the silver screen.
Yes, Downton Abbey, a plot to be determined based off the popular Masterpiece series on the PBS. I'm not going to lie, my grandmother watched this show, and I tried watching it too, and I'm not going to lie, it's actually pretty well done. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll see the movie because I haven't seen the show, so... but hey, it's there if you guys want to check it out. But that's all I have to say regarding this particular one.
Yeah, it's Downton Abbey. I've never gotten into it. I've heard it's critically acclaimed. So I'm hoping it does well.
I think I'm more of a fan of Saxonville Abbey. If you watch Urinating Tree.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next. We're gonna move on to the next trailer, which is The White Crow. An inspired ballet dancer must fight for freedom in order to escape from deportation to live out his dream. I mean,
Not an opposite of Black Swan.
it's
apparently.
not a bad-looking movie. It's just one that needs to up the ante a little, you know?
Yay, political issues, deportation.
No agenda here.
Yeah. Anyway,
Right.
do you want me to move on to the next trailer?
Please.
Okay.
Oh, this thing. I didn't know he was Irish.
This
I
trailer
would've
kind of came
finished the
out.
book.
This trailer kind of came out in a fast motion from Disney. Artemis Fowl, a young Irish criminal mastermind, kidnaps a ferry officer for ransom to fund the search for his missing father in order to restore the family fortune. I'm just gonna say this right now. I tried reading an Artemis Fowl book, but unfortunately, it just didn't really get in. I couldn't really get into it as much as a lot of people thought. You know, like I tried. It's just it doesn't work for me. But
I believe that we read the same book. It seems like the one with the gray silver cover. The one I had was like a metallic cover because it was like actually just like holographic. But it was that. I tried to read another one that I really couldn't get through. It wasn't the one I was reading. I couldn't get through. It was a different one. But if I'd known he was Irish, I might have stayed in a little longer. I don't know. But I guess you'll see how this goes. I don't really know.
so
Like,
We
I
have
had
to
heard
talk-
Artemis Fowl before, but I was like, I had no idea what this was. This seems interesting.
oh yeah, you really liked the trailer, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not looking forward to
Yay, another pointless remake.
this. Yeah.
The like dislike ratio
Slash
on this
reboot, slash
speaks for
remake,
itself.
slash sequel, slash whatever you want to call it. Men in Black International. Two people in suits must now work together as they collide in the alien realm to restore order. Oh yeah, and no Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones. It's like
Yeah, that's kind of like, well, what the fuck? Well, it's not a Men in Black movie then.
yeah, I'm kind of like I don't understand. I don't understand this movie at all. Like I don't understand why it's being made. Naka, what do you think?
It's okay. I don't understand why it's being made either, except it's terrible.
Do you want me to move on to the next trailer?
Hey, at least we have, it's a sequel, but it's an original idea.
Yeah, Shaun the Sheep, Farmageddon. When an alien with amazing powers crash lands near Mossy Bottom Farm, a sheep goes on a mission to shepherd the intergalactic visitor, home before a sinister organization can capture her.
The U.S. government.
I do like Wallace and Gromit. I'll give you that.
Yeah, of course. I grew up on that shit.
But what do you have to say regarding this trailer? I mean, it looks interesting enough.
It looks interesting, and I don't have much of a nostalgia for Shaun the Sheep, but hey,
Yeah, I think.
it's made.
Do you
by
like
the
Wallace
same-
and Gromit though?
Yes, it's made by the same people who made Wallace and Gromit, so I give
I missed out on the. I saw Wallace and Gromit, a bunch of those movies. The Were Rabbit one, Chicken Run, and
I saw the
then
Were Rabbit. It was really good.
Yeah, I missed out on the. What's the last one? Early Man. I didn't see that one.
I didn't see that one either.
I feel like was the sheep in that one? I don't know.
I don't know, but hey, let's move on to the next trailer. All right. Well,
Oh no, wrong one.
Teen Spirit. No, not the one from Nirvana. The other Teen Spirit. A shy teenager who dreams of escaping her small town and pursuing her passion to sing enters a local singing competition that will test her integrity, talent, and ambition.
Yay,
I mean,
another
so she goes on American
singing
Idol?
contest movie. It's not like we've ever seen this before.
Wait, you've seen stuff like this before?
It's on
literally a
TV
movie called Sing.
every 2 months. Like, seriously, every 2 months. Brand new hit singing competition.
Just in movie form.
It's just in movie form. So you know what? It's going to be a lot more.
There's literally a movie called Sing.
It's dumb.
Which I didn't see because, of course, I mean, I took Boozy Badger's advice to heart. Remember when he was on our show? That was fun. He said it, and again, I knew what that meant. It just became the movie, like that just became the movie. Like I want to watch the movie. Like you already knew what that meant.
Yeah.
it's the one that your kid wants to watch. That's just the
Anyway.
all time. For me, that was, I guess.
So this one definitely I kind of want to go see.
Why?
Extremely wicked, shockingly
this
evil,
one.
and
Never mind.
vile.
And
Ted
the
Bundy.
big
A story of a notorious serial killer comes to life from the perspective of his girlfriend who struggled to accept the reality of her boyfriend's nature. Wow, you guys really know a lot about Ted Bundy, don't you?
I did. Because I took a forensics class in high school, and the professor, he was a total badass. He was ex special forces, and he knew. Well, he did his homework. I mean, we learned about a bunch of other serial killers, but I think the big tagline that gets the thing that gets most other people interested in this movie is that it stars none other than Metallica frontman James Hetfield. You can see him in the trailer. He doesn't say anything in the trailer, but he's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to say, I think I commented on the video. It's like starring James Hetfield. Oh, and Zac Efron is there too somewhere. I don't know. No one cares.
Right.
But yeah, if you want to see James Hetfield in an acting role, this is the movie that he's going to be a part of. So
He's going to star in a movie that isn't a Metallica movie.
Yeah, it's not the Metallica movie. I'll just see it. The Metallica movie, that wasn't bad, but it was just like my biggest issue was literally it was called Through the Never, but you didn't have the song Through the Never in it. But you did have Creeping Death, so that was something.
Yes.
But yeah, James Hetfield is in the movie, as well as Zac Efron and a bunch of other people, guys and gals.
Anyway,
so, we'll see.
Let's move
Alright.
on to a
It's good. I'll
sequel
just
to
say
a
it
good
for him.
movie franchise.
okay, I'm gonna have to level with you here.
And the actor that my dad absolutely hates.
You know, I'm gonna have to level with you here. I have not seen a single John Wick movie.
I've not either.
You guys need to fix that because they're just fun action movies.
I mean, well, it was hard because like it was hard for me to really take Keanu Reeves seriously because he was in the Matrix. Well, what else is he going to do after the Matrix? It's like a skilled assassin, John Wick, returns with a $14 million price tag on his head and an army of bounty hunters, killers on his trail. And it's interesting. I haven't seen the other two John Wick movies, but I really do want to check it out. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah,
You remember 47 Ronin? That was a weird movie.
That movie was awful.
That
was weird.
That movie was weird, and that movie was awful. Awful movie.
Like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on most of the time.
Yeah, but anyway, that's really all I have to say regarding that movie. So, do you want to move on to the next trailer?
Jada.
Don't cross the beams.
Ghost Nappa.
Ghostbusters 2020. This is just a teaser, but I just say a group of people face the problems of the paranormal in New York City. And like it's the funny thing about this is that it's going to be directed by Ivan Reitman's son, who was the original director of the original Ghostbusters. I don't know what exactly this means, if they're just going to reboot the entire franchise, which I kind of hope they do, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
I think this is kind of like and to be fair, I didn't actually see.
From what I read, sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't actually see the other Ghostbusters remake, but I just watched the fallout from it. But I think that this is kind of like supposed to be an apology for that that kind of thing.
Anyway, but
you're sorry I'm late. Well, sorry you're late. Sorry, I'm the one who's late here. It's almost 11 p.m. for me, while it's almost midday for the other.
You know what?
folks.
It's fine. You can still watch the VOD when it goes up in a few days.
What goes up in a few days?
The VOD. The
VOD.
The VOD.
I thought you said.
Okay.
I thought you said the Vine.
Anyway.
See, now, from what I read is that this is actually supposed to be a sequel to the first two Ghostbusters movies because it's set place in the modern day. It's set place in the modern day, and all the events of the 1980s have happened. That's what
even
good.
Even though Harold Ramis unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to write that into the story.
Yeah.
So it can't be a reboot if Harold Ramis is dead.
Right.
Well, are you saying it would canonically be Ghostbusters 3?
It would canonically be Ghostbusters 3.
Right.
So I was thinking.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens, though. Anyway, let's move on to our final 5 trailers of the night.
Yay, another remake. Hellboy was fine as it is.
Hellboy, a demon who is more human than monster, caught between the worlds of the supernatural and human, battles an ancient sorcerer bent on revenge. Now, I know a lot of people really did like the original Hellboys, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people really enjoyed those movies, but I need to mention something. Guillermo del Toro was the director of the first 2 Hellboy movies, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
he was originally supposed to make a Hellboy sequel, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, it was around the time that he was going to be directing Hellboy 3 that unfortunately the studios kind of just said, no, we can't really give it to you. And so in response, he made The Shape of Water. It won Best Picture, and basically it was his biggest fuck you to the execs ever.
And the first Pacific Rim movie.
You know that he won that twice just so he could repeat that "I'm an immigrant" speech. Don't fucking lie to me. But not to say he's not a great director. But it's just like, really, that's pandering beyond.
That has nothing to do. Him being an immigrant has nothing to do with the quality of his work.
It's just the Oscars, man. It's not him. It's the Oscars. The way that the whole thing is structured. But so are you, from what I hear, so he was going to direct a Hellboy 3, but that never happened.
He was supposed to direct a Hellboy 3 around during the time after Pacific Rim was done. But for whatever reason, I don't really know why, the studios just said he wasn't able to do it, and it wasn't really out of animosity. It was just either money issues. I'm not too sure, but they just said they couldn't do it. And so in response, he decided to make The Shape of Water, which won Best Picture. So,
I was like, if he had led with the fact that it was set in Baltimore, I would have been like, oh, okay, that changes things a little bit.
But yeah, that's really all I have to say regarding this movie. Now, Naka, what do you have to say regarding Hellboy? Because I know you're not looking for... I can't tell if you're not looking forward to this movie or if you are, but at the same time, you're kind of late.
It's technically a reboot, and it was fine the way it was. It was fine with Ron Perlman.
Well, here's the thing. People rebooted the X-Men franchise, and I was kind of annoyed by that. But, I still saw it.
Who knows? If this does, a lot better than the original ones, I'll give it a shot.
Look at the bright side. It has David Harbour from Stranger Things, who plays Officer Hopper, at least.
Was he also the original Hellboy, or is that someone else?
No. The original Hellboy was played by Ron Perlman.
Oh, Ron Perlman, that's who.
Where is my goddamn shoe?
Anyway, do you want to move on to the next trailer?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
A movie that does not need to be made.
The Lion King, a CGI reimagining of the 1994 Disney classic, as if I even need to go into much detail as to what it already is.
You knew this was coming.
I look at this teaser trailer, and not only am I disappointed in the fact that it's nothing but CGI. I don't even want to call it live action because there's no humans in there. If by any chance
doesn't feature any humans.
If the Lion King somehow featured humans, that would be something. But I seriously doubt it's going to do that. And if it did, holy shit! But at the same time, it's if it's already. Why, if it's just repeating what the animation did, why go see this movie at all? I just want to go see the animation one again.
Dude, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds answered that question because Disney, because Disney, and because money.
Pretty much.
Ryan Reynolds. I'm glad that Disney at least allowed him to say that. It was just the whole thing from Once Upon a Deadpool, which is, I think, it's the separate name for the PG-13.
It's the
Deadpool.
PG-13, which
it's just
it's got extra scenes. I think I'm not sure. I need
there's
to
some
watch
extra
Once
and
Upon a
some
Deadpool,
deleted.
just because I want to see the difference between the two.
Yeah, there was some extra, some deleted. It was just a little bit altered, but it's just because Disney and because money.
I like how these last 4 movies are Disney movies.
He's you only get two sheets, one and a glass of white wine.
So what do you have to say regarding this trailer?
Me?
It just doesn't need to be made.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's par for the course, but it's also kind of but it's also kind of you don't need to do it right now.
Anyway, do you want to move on to the next trailer that I'm kind of interested, but at the same time know very little about?
Includes a
the
cat.
second of 4 Disney movies in this.
I know that it has
Technically.
Samuel L. Jackson and
Can we finally say that we finally have a Disney princess in a superhero film? I'm just kidding. Captain Marvel,
she's not a
if
princess.
you want to go there, I guess.
No, she's not. But Captain Marvel, a young woman becomes one of the universe's most powerful heroes when Earth is caught in the middle of a galactic war between 2 alien races. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people, I'm excited to see it at least. I just know very little about it, you know.
It's a prequel film, but it explains something in one of the end credit scenes of one of the movies, which I'm not going to spoil.
Right.
Yeah, it was the big kind of like, oh, this is the thing that might be happening. Like, remember this character? I bet you don't. I mean, fucking I don't. And I was a Spider-Man fan since I was like fucking 6 years old.
Yeah. But anyway, that's really all I have to say about Captain Marvel. But does it look interesting enough for you guys to want to go see it? Because I do want to go see it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to see it. I mean, I'm going to see that and then the next 2 that are coming up, obviously, because they're all from the same.
Right. Anyway, we're going to move on to our final 2 trailers, which is the second to the last one is Spider-Man Far From Home. A high school student and his friends go on a summer vacation to Europe where he finds himself trying to save his friends against a villain. It's a very, very, ordinary logline, but I just really did not have any way of wording it because, it's just one of those things where you just kind of have to take your time. But I am excited for Spider-Man Far From Home. I do have to admit that. I do want to see I love the first one. I do want to see the second one. And by the way, I just want to remind you, this takes place, I believe it's after Infinity War, but that's all I have to say.
After he doesn't feel so good.
Right, after that part. And but what do you have to say regarding this?
Spoilers?
I just said he doesn't feel good.
I mean, if they're showing the trailer, it's not that big a deal. I mean,
if they're showing the trailer, the spoiler is the fact that the trailer exists.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler in and of itself, if you think about it.
But Naka, do you want to go see this movie?
Yes. You're asking me if I want to go see a Marvel movie.
Is there anything else you want to say other than just yes?
No.
He's a yes man.
All right.
Yes.
Well.
Man. Yes man. I don't know.
Well, guys, this is it. The last trailer. Do I really need Avengers Endgame? Do I really need a logline for this one? No spoilers.
No spoilers. Watch Infinity War to watch Infinity War, and then you'll get a little bit of background behind Captain Marvel, because there's a little bit of an Easter egg cameo in that movie. I'm not saying what happens, and then you can lead into Avengers Endgame trailer because that explains a lot of stuff.
Yes,
it does.
But yeah, that's really all I have to say, and that is our final coming attraction for the day, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show for tonight. So I do want to mention one thing. Next week we are not going to be having a show because the Super Bowl is going to be on, and we are not going to be competing.
Let's go Rams!
I do hope the New England Patriots gets their ass kicked because I don't like the Patriots at all. And we will return on the weekend. It's still going to be tentative because we're going to be playing this by ear for the moment. Mm-hmm. We will return on February 10th. Not the date, the week of February 10th.
Yes.
So we'll have to see what's going to happen. So but yeah, that's really all I have to say regarding
what the fuck?
That's it. That's our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, if you ever get the chance, please feel free to donate. It is greatly appreciated. It
is appreciated, and also if you donate, I will just go like this.
What the fuck?
It's an audio.
What the fuck?
Anyway, guys, this has been Subwuffer Entertainment
Sorry
Treehouse.
for blowing out your ears.
My name is Scarfy.
I'm Naka, your technical director, and that is Krüz. That is Krüz, the K-Metal Wolf 59, our European consulate.
Yes.
Correspondent, not consulate.
Yes,
excuse me.
Yes, that is me. I am the consulate.
And we wish you all a really good one. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good afternoon / morning / evening, and Krüz, you should probably go to bed.
Stay amazing and stay awesome. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
You're not my dad.
Get out of the tank. You're not my dad. I'm in the tank.
I'm literally in the tank. You're not
my dad.
I love that video. I love that video. It's so good.